Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Good morning, happy Monday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break, full show ahead. Lots of news in the Big Ten Conference. We will get to that regarding the change at the head coaching spot at Wisconsin. They announced that during a Packers game yesterday at home. What the hell's going on at Wisconsin?
No kidding.
Yes. The Packers were hosting the Patriots. Yeah. It was a 3:25 game in Lambeau Field. And I think about the fourth quarter, start of the fourth, the news comes out that Paul Chryst is out at
Shocking
Wisconsin. News.
That's I'm just going to go ahead and say it. That's shocking news. Good morning, by the way.
Good morning. Well, don't get beat 34-10 at home by Illinois and have 2 rushing yards in the game.
And don't go 9-8 in the Big Ten since the start of the 2020 season.
I suppose
isn't that
not.
bad. I mean,
no, I'd take it right now.
Yeah.
Nebraska was like, what's wrong with that?
Is that sort of a Frank Solich type fire?
Feels like it.
Yeah, it does.
Like
it does. That AD better know what he's doing.
Be careful what you ask for, Chris McIntosh.
Yeah, but asking for Lance Leipold.
Don't take Lance from us. We want Lance. Lance is 5-0, by the way.
Yeah, by the way, somebody over here has a case of the Mondays.
Me?
Yes.
What, me?
Yes.
Oh.
Off air. A little surly.
I wasn't surly.
What was it last week? It was. Oh, yeah, the Dolphins didn't play yesterday.
No, they didn't play. I actually went for like a 25-mile bike ride and played 18 holes of golf. That's how you attack a non-Dolphin Sunday right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I attacked the day.
Yeah, you did.
Here I am.
Rocking
like a hurricane. Hey, that's too soon. There's a hurricane in Florida. Come on.
Myrtle Beach.
You set me up for it.
Yeah,
I said
say
here
like
I am.
a hurricane.
I said here I am, and then you sang the song. How could I not finish the line? Come on, too soon.
There's other songs where you could. I was thinking of another song. Here I am, back on my feet again.
No, you were not. You sang the hurricane song. Come on. 464-5685. Call or text as always. You can watch and comment on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. The show sponsored by Gaina Trucking. We'll get to all that Big Ten news next segment and beyond. But you know what? Nebraska won a football game on Saturday, Sip. 35-21. Yes. Huskers beat the Hoosiers in Lincoln. It was at times a mess of a game, and that's mostly because of the penalties. It wasn't a bunch of stupid, I thought bad plays that would indicate bad football. It was the fact there was 23 penalties. Nebraska had 12 in the game for 100-plus yards, which made it a very sloppy third quarter and game in general. But Nebraska pulls away, wins by 14, and when all is said and done, Sip, through 2 weeks of Big Ten play, Nebraska with 5 other teams is tied for first in the Big Ten West at 1-1. Wisconsin, the only team not in first place in the West at 0-2.
Yeah, I'm not quite ready to thrust Nebraska into that conversation.
I don't think you should, but the facts are the facts. They're tied for first.
True. And it's not like, and we'll get to this in the next segment, the West is truly down.
Oh, God, yeah.
It is.
I mean, come on. Illinois might be the best team right now.
Illinois is going to have a legitimate shot to win the West.
They will. I mean, Minnesota crapped the bed on Saturday, lost to Purdue at
home.
Total
crap. What did I say last week? They got to prove it now.
Well,
they didn't. They looked terrible. I watched the game.
They did. I know Ibrahim didn't play.
Yeah, Mo Ibrahim.
But they've played without him before and won. They've had success without Ibrahim before.
They couldn't run it without him for
20-10. Purdue goes on the road in Minneapolis. And
think about that.
I didn't get it. I didn't understand it.
Think about that.
O'Connell was a game time decision. Did play. He wasn't bad, but still he was banged up.
The news is Purdue held Minnesota to 10 on its home field. Now, that's not news if we listen to ourselves, because we said in the preseason, the talk at Purdue is about defense. I mean, they're good. They're legit defensively.
Well, They showed that on Saturday. I mean, they've had some rough games defensively in some other games, but they did play very well Saturday.
Boy, and that Spencer Petras discussion is fascinating. He's just not very good.
Well,
you've been saying that for 2 years, right?
No, I mean, he's never done anything to impress anybody. That's why Iowa fans are saying, "Well, how can this truly be our best option?"
Yeah, it is though.
You heard for years about Deuce Hogan, Alex Padilla. These guys aren't good enough to unseat Spencer Petras.
So that's Minnesota. That's Minnesota losing on its home field. That's Iowa. All right, it didn't look terrible against Michigan. Their
defense is good.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Pretty good defense. And Wisconsin is now officially in disarray.
I mean, I saw that. I wasn't watching the game. I kept reading the box score. I thought there was typos. I mean, Wisconsin had 24 carries for 2 yards on their home field against former coach Brett Bielema and Illinois in a 34-10 waylay at Wisconsin.
And then there's Nebraska. You tip your cap to – thank you.
I didn't have a cap. I did.
You tip your cap to effort.
Yes.
They're really – okay. Oh, God. When I start down this road, I know what people are saying. Of course there's going to be effort. Hold on, though. They've lost their head coach. They've lost their defensive coordinator. It's a freak show. And the kids responded with that sort of effort. You tip your cap to the kids, first of all. I mean, I'm not going to do this thing where I say, oh, it's all the coaching. No, it's not all coaching. The kids are the ones that have to play.
Yes, they are.
And the leadership on that team obviously is pretty strong, right? Because at no point did you say, oh, they're not playing very hard.
No, they played hard the whole game. There's a little lull at the end of the first half where they're up 21-7. It was tied at 21 at halftime. But beyond what I thought was a very sloppy third quarter for both teams. I mean, think about this, Sip. We talked about this season, the defense being on the verge of being historically bad, right? Yeah. And Bill Bush leads this Nebraska defense to hold Indiana to 14 points because 7 points were the strip sack in the end zone. So they allowed 14 points defensively and less than 300 yards of offense to Indiana.
How many points in the second half?
Zero. Shutout in the second half.
Indiana, 8 3-and-outs. Okay, nobody saw that coming.
No, I mean, now Cam Camper didn't play, which that hurts Indiana. But still, I don't care. I don't care.
That's true. Now hold on. We got to back up. Not only did Cam Camper not play, their second best receiver, a Florida State transfer, didn't play either.
So that hurts. That hurts the offense.
I would say that's the equivalent of taking Palmer and Grant off of Nebraska.
That hurts.
Yeah.
But still,
how would Nebraska be without Palmer and
Grant?
Not
great. However, this is a defense that had been struggling, and I know that's two of your best players in offense for Indiana. But they've moved the ball this year pretty well.
Indiana, 2 for 15 on third down conversions. Oh yeah, you tip your cap to Bill Bush. You absolutely tip it.
You should.
That's an amazing job of defense.
Yeah,
for a defense that, as you said, was playing historically bad.
It was on the verge of being historically bad.
Okay, this tip your cap thing is going to get annoying very fast.
I need to get a hat at this point. Yeah, I'm going to grab a hat.
You tip your cap to Garrett Nelson for having 2 sacks.
Yes.
Right?
His motor was going.
You tip your – okay, this is the last one. You tip your cap to Luke Reimer for that interception.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
It's too bad they threw a pick the next play. but that was a great play. Hey, you know what? The best part, they pinned him inside the 1 on the interception at least. I mean, that play took like 10 minutes because the little injury and a review of the play, no targeting.
Oh God!
The next play, I knew they're taking a shot. Yeah, I said they are taking a shot, and Indiana knew that too.
Yeah.
Great pick by the guy.
The guy was
great, beautiful pick.
Yeah. Anyway,
inside the 1.
So and you tip your cap. This will be the last. I mean, can we just do that today and not ever again? Day? Yeah, tip your cap.
No, we'll tip our cap.
You tip your cap to Anthony Grant.
Yes.
32 carries, 136 yards. 32 carries, 136 yards.
Well, that's also a tip of the cap, last one, to Mark Whipple for calling run plays to Anthony Grant.
This is tip your cap day, so we can do it all day, but then that's it. Yeah, tip your cap to Whip. And how about Whip? Did you see Whip get into Casey?
Yeah.
So Casey.
3rd and 2 Texas sack, right?
Yes. Nice,
for 13
Jake. You're
yards.
pretty alert today.
Well,
Yeah.
I've watched the game.
I think it was the first quarter. Yeah, it was a 3rd and 2.
Yep.
He held the ball too long.
He did.
I think Mickey said that Casey had Palmer open on the backside and just held the ball too long.
Yeah, Whipple was it. Yeah, it was
and if you didn't see what happened, Casey walked over to the sideline and Whipple lit him up.
He did.
I mean, lit him up. Woo! Casey took it really well, like a pro.
And then Chuba went in the next series, right?
Yeah, in one of the all-time bad coaching decisions.
That was terrible.
I mean,
at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, at 9. Yeah,
9.
Yeah. I mean, what? Come on, what are we doing?
I
there?
don't know. That was bad.
I mean, I give Mickey a lot of credit that he got his first win, and it was a good one. It's a good win.
Take the W. Absolutely.
Oh no, it's a good win, and he did a lot right. But that's one of the all-time bad
bad.
decisions.
Bad.
It's one of the worst decisions I've ever seen.
Well, I've seen worse than that, but that was
For a quarterback substitution. It's one of the worst I've seen.
Your first action's inside your own 10-yard line.
Right.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah.
Hey, they won the game, so we have a couple calls. Gus is not here, so I'm gonna have to ask you guys who are on the airwaves before when we do that. I don't have a name.
Okay, well
Should we take the call?
Let's just play roulette.
We're playing roulette on the
Yes.
phones. If you can hear me, you are on early break. Who do we have here?
This is Bob.
Bob, Husker Bob, Kool-Aid Bob.
Bob, how are you? Congratulations,
no, it's Big
Bob.
Red, and I tell you
Big
what,
Red Bob.
Okay.
I tell you what, you guys have knocked Nebraska's defense all season, and on Saturday is what I have expected for them to be. And I said earlier this week that first of all, I had Nebraska picked at 49-14, maybe 21. Nebraska held them to 14 points. And only giving up under 300 yards total offense, no score in the second half. I tell you, I said that it was going to be Mickey Joseph and Bill Bush was going to be the X factor. I tell you, he's got that defense going. They're going to go into Rutgers, and Rutgers doesn't have even close to what Indiana had offensively. I expect that. I wouldn't be surprised if Nebraska shuts Rutgers out.
Here comes shut.
Defensively.
Bob's back.
Because I'm serious.
Bob's back.
He's
Serious.
back.
You guys can laugh, but I tell you what, they played their hearts out Saturday.
They did. You're right.
And I tell you what, it's going to be all left on the line. They'll have them guys ready. And don't be surprised if this is Nebraska defense that I was expecting all season. Game 1, we've already done it. Game 2 is now Rutgers. Let's take care of business at Rutgers.
All right,
Bob.
And
Thank
let's
you.
see where it goes. But I tell you what, if I wouldn't be surprised, if they keep it rolling, you might be seeing your next head coach and defensive coordinator.
Well, that's what they're auditioning
Wouldn't
for.
that be
for
amazing?
Sure.
Wouldn't
Thank you,
that be
Bob.
amazing? Yeah, we have an audition going on in Lincoln. We have an audition going on in Wisconsin.
Yep.
So Mickey, and if you saw which you did,
I did.
if you saw that, I think you know where I'm going, right? If you saw that scene in the locker room
With Trev Alberts.
yeah,
Trev seemed pretty
it's
juiced to be there.
It's scary to me sometimes how you know where I'm going.
I'm locked
with
in.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, you always question if I'm locked in. I'm locked in, baby.
So describe the scene.
Well, Trev Alberts is, doing a little post-game speech with Mickey Joseph there and the players, and he said he said he's very proud, so proud of the guys. It reminded me a little bit of Paul Rhodes back when he said, "I'm so proud to be your coach" when Iowa State beat Nebraska.
Oh God,
That's what I felt. I said,
way to open that wound.
Well,
Go ahead,
sorry,
keep going.
it happened.
Keep going.
But he said, "I was so proud," and he said, "But this game ball is for a guy for his first win as a head coach, Mickey Joseph." You see they're chanting Mickey.
Yeah, and I'm
in
gonna
the locker room.
I'm gonna tell you something.
They're juiced.
If you see that scene, your big takeaway is what? Is what?
Well, they appear to like the coach.
I'm talking about
and
one
maybe Trev,
person.
and maybe Trev,
Yeah.
the man who makes the decision of
Yes.
the coaching search, is maybe liking Mickey
Oh
Joseph.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that's that's what's striking to me.
Well, again, it was a good showing, as Bob mentioned. Bill Bush, had a great showing there. Mickey Joseph, besides the terrible decision to put Chuba Purdy inside his own 10-yard line, had a good game.
I sure
And-
don't.
And I love the way he, the sideline gets jacked up.
Yeah.
Like they're pumped. He pumps them up.
I sure don't mind the optic of Mickey and Bill going forward.
Yeah, I look forward to see what the next 7 games bring.
Now, I would hope that Mickey would, I don't want to get down. I don't want to get down that road too far. But I like that. I like the way this team responded with those guys, Mickey, Joseph, and Bill Bush. But this is an ongoing. Well, I mean, this is not us talking. This was Mickey Joseph, who last week said this is an 8-week interview.
Yes, it is. Well, he's aware of that.
So I'd say it's gone. He's, the first round didn't go that well against Oklahoma.
No, it was bad.
It didn't go well.
Who, by the way, has fallen off the face of the planet
what
now.
The hell is going on?
They gave up 668 yards of offense in a blowout loss to TCU.
You know who TCU's offensive coordinator is?
No.
It's Lincoln Riley's brother.
Oh.
Garrett Riley. Looks just like Lincoln, by the way.
I didn't see that, yeah.
Yeah, TCU's OC is Lincoln Riley's brother.
Yeah.
Anyway, what is the deal, Venables? What is the deal?
2 straight weeks, he just got crushed.
What are you doing? I
want a do-over.
I guarantee you those people are pissed in Norman.
What? How could you not be pissed? This got absolutely blown out by TCU.
Anyway, Mickey and Bill, I will reiterate and tip my cap.
Did it again.
No, we're doing it today. This is Tip Your Cap Monday. All right? You tip your cap to effort, and I don't care what people say. Sipple, come on. There's always should be effort. The program's been through a lot in September. September was not a month to remember.
No, God, was not.
That was a Bill Callahan. Now, Bill Callahan used to say it about November. November could be a month to remember if Nebraska keeps playing, because that schedule that we thought was such a killer is not really looking like that right now, except going to Ann Arbor. Now, Ann Arbor is going to be rough.
Yeah.
Could be rough.
Well, they just only beat Maryland by 7 on their home field last week.
Right. Didn't exactly
they didn't
trounce.
Yeah, they didn't put away Iowa. 27-14.
They look good, though. I bet you Chris
they
is
don't
on
look
the line.
unbeatable.
No, they look good, though.
I don't know if we have a caller here. We have a line. If you can hear, if you're on the air, if you can hear us, go ahead. You're on early break. Anybody here?
It's your boy from Napa.
It's
What's
Vince.
up, fellas?
It's Vince. Vince on the West Coast in Napa, California.
Vince, where are your 10? What do you got? Give us some goods here.
Well, while you're mentioning Bill Callahanisms, I'll say this, Sip.
Okay.
It's not where you line up, it's where you wind up.
It's not where you line up. It's where you wind up. Thank you, Bill. I miss you.
Thank you, Husker fan.
Yeah.
But anyhow, anyhow, Saturday night was just absolutely refreshing, and I think before anybody dismisses this as being, well, it's Indiana this, it's Indiana that. Well, keep in mind, Indiana also beat Illinois, which right now is the darling of the Big Ten West. So, so there is that. But I'll tell you, I mean, we heard all week long about, slowing the tempo down and all that. And
yeah.
I'd say they slowed it down, but only to a point. I mean, it's not, to me, they were just a little bit more pragmatic. And it's not like the offense just ground to a halt. But the biggest thing, like we talked about, is you get first downs. And yes, there was that stretch in the second quarter, and for that matter, even parts of the third when penalties really just kind of waylaid the offense. But in the fourth quarter, that's how you close out a football game. And and it's one of those things where, and I don't know if this is just a difference in leadership or what, but it's one of those where with the game being tied at 21 apiece going into the fourth quarter, you ask yourself, it's like, okay, if the former head coach and the former defensive coordinator are still here, maybe there's probably a good chance we don't win that game. But and part of that, I think, is because of the vibe that Coach Joseph and the vibe that Coach Bush put out there. It's like these guys put the kids in a position where they believe, and they believed that they were going to get it done. And defensively, I mean, I didn't see this coming either. And and as you guys know, I went viral a few weeks ago about, I want boar hunters.
The boars.
Boar hunters.
Boar hunters, yeah. And
boar hunters.
Now, did the defense, did this team look like the 75 Pittsburgh Steelers? No, I'm not going to get crazy, but at the same time, the consistent effort that we saw throughout the game. And I think it was Sean Callahan that tweeted out a stat from Pro Football Focus that we only missed 6 tackles the entire game, and we'd been averaging like 13.7. It's like, well, gee whiz, you actually practice being physical. It's amazing what happens during the game. But with Bill Bush being moved to defensive coordinator, I mean, my concern was that the special teams was going to take a step back, but that wasn't the case because you see our first block punt since 2009. Now they're saying 2009, but I seem to remember a block punt we had in 2020 in the COVID year against Purdue, but I don't know if they're counting.
I think you're right. Of course they're counting that. Good point.
They are? Okay, yeah. Good. I'm glad they're counting that. But anyhow, regardless if it was 2009 or 2020, it's been a rare time that special teams has actually been a difference maker. And, Bushini punted well.
Pretty well.
And we actually saw a few punt returns.
Yeah, that is true.
Positive yards. Is that like we've talked about, is that such a novel concept?
Yeah,
but
he did.
Yeah, but more than anything, it's one of those where it's a short week going into Rutgers. But most of all, I think one thing that if you're the coaches and if you're the players, that's one thing that you want to take out of it is this.
What's that?
It's like, Saturday night felt great. We're happy, yes, but we're not satisfied because you want them to get it in their mind. Winning is what we do. You either feel pressure or you apply pressure. Saturday night, we applied pressure for 60 minutes. You go into Piscataway, New Jersey on Friday night, and you apply pressure for 60 minutes. Let's go!
Okay. All right. Fence is applying pressure in his garage.
Yeah, he is.
He's applying pressure to his heart, his garage, and his blood.
Go check on that guy.
Blood is feeling pressure. Okay.
We did not say a stat yet that I think is important from this game.
Please do it.
Now, we mentioned the defense gave up 14 points himself. The seven points.
Stay on a defensive jag here. Please.
Here we go. This might be the stat of the day for the defense.
Okay.
Indiana was 2 for 15 on third down.
I mentioned that already.
You did not.
Yes, I did. But it's good to mention it again.
If you mentioned it, it needs to be mentioned again.
It's fine.
It's the stat of the day.
Right. It is. 2 for 15.
2 for 15.
Nebraska was 7 for 16. Yeah, 2 for 15.
2 for 15, Sip.
Yeah, that's good.
They could get off the field for the whole season.
Tip your cap.
I tipped it.
Now, I'm going to ask you, Mr. NFL.
That's me.
Football
Mr.
expert.
NFL. Yes, that's me.
What I saw Nebraska do differently on defense is play a lot of press coverage, played a lot of press. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Mr. NFL?
Oh, yeah.
You notice corners?
Look pretty good.
Corners up on the receivers?
Malcolm Hartzog, oh, by the way, didn't mention that yet.
True freshman?
True freshman over Tommy Hill.
Yeah. True freshman starts at corner over Tommy Hill. Kid from Mississippi. Little guy.
Yeah, not big.
Man, we watched the game up in the press box, but we go down late and going down there and seeing Malcolm, little dude, tough, must be tougher than hell. I mean, he earned a start at corner in a Big Ten game as a true freshman.
And he scored a touchdown on the punt block return.
Okay. Also, the blitz was more effective under Bill. Those changes that Bill made on defense, Bill Bush, a lot of them kicked in. Their feet were set at the snap most of the time.
Yeah.
There wasn't any. Was there anything egregious? Did you see? They were in their gaps pretty much.
Well, I mean,
look at the rushing total.
Nebraska held them 23 carries for 67 yards.
Take that.
2.9 yards a carry.
Right.
Along the 34, they had one bust, 34 yards. Otherwise, nothing.
Yeah, and that bust, that Jalen Lucas juked Miles Farmer right out of his shoes.
He juked two guys, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he juked that safety big time.
Yeah, so there was either
He
that
might have
player,
juked one other
I
one.
think two guys got juked in the same
Yeah,
play.
Jalen Lucas is a true freshman running back who done nothing this year.
Yeah, well, that was a nice run.
Yeah, he got a nice run.
He only had 3 carries, to be fair.
So, yeah, tip your cap Monday. Tip it to the defense. And you know who else you tipped your cap to? Casey Thompson. Because Casey Thompson got Nebraska separation with that beautiful, gorgeous piece of football art that was a 71-yard completion for a touchdown to Trey Palmer.
That's right.
And that was a gorgeous throw. You see it every Saturday. Hell, you see it on Sundays. Quarterbacks overthrowing guys deep.
Yeah.
Or underthrowing them. That was about as well as you could throw that ball. And that got Nebraska the lead. That got them some separation. And the way the defense was playing, you felt pretty good at that point, right?
I did.
And then what happened? Nebraska ground out a 12-play, 54-yard touchdown drive to go up 14.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and Grant was pretty big on that drive. Anthony Grant, they leaned on Grant. I think he had 7 carries for 31 yards on that drive, 12-play drive, 12-play, 54-yard drive, lasted 6 minutes
and 5 seconds.
Yeah, I took a bunch of time off the clock, and then now you're up. Now I thought it was over, 14. You're up 14, and the way the defense is playing. Listen to us talk right now.
See,
the way the defense is playing.
Well, and hear me out. I did not think it was over because I've seen this program find incredible ways to lose.
Well,
so did I feel confident? Yes. But was I still biting my nails? Yes.
Well,
and they did a good job shutting the game down.
Yeah, I'm the king of declaring games over.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, the guys that sit around me are like, "Don't do this."
Yeah,
just
why
do you
why
do
you
this?
would do that? Just let the game play out. For those who wanted Nebraska to slow the game down, here's they had 2 different drives of touchdowns that were both 3 plays each. The first drive, the Oliver Martin touchdown pass was 3 plays, 72 yards, and 47 seconds. And then the Trey Palmer touchdown, in the fourth quarter was 3 plays, 87 yards in 59 seconds. So
Nebraska is so good on first drives.
They have been good, yeah. They've been scripted well by Mark Whipple. Absolutely,
they are. They're really good.
Oklahoma, great drive there.
The Huskers, Jake, have scored on their first drive in 4 of 5 games this season. Think about that. If I'm an opposing defensive coordinator, that stat is in my mind all week. They have scored on 4 of their first possession, 4 of the first 5 games. They're really good on that script. Really good. Do we have a caller we missed?
I think it was gone. Been waiting for a while.
So Nebraska, 35-21, improves to 2-3 overall, 1-1 in the Big Ten. Tied for first.
Sip. We're number 1. Tied for first in the Big Ten West.
And with an opportunity, a very, very, very good opportunity going to Rutgers. Not going to get overconfident, but this team is still playing. And I applaud what's going on right now. There's a good feeling over there.
Well, and think about this too. It's the fact that they beat Rutgers. They do something they have not done in which that's winning back-to-back games. They could never put under Scott Frost back-to-back wins together. They just could not do it. You thought, a chance for momentum. Nope. Back to losing again.
I'm going to tell you something right now, Jake. I'm going to tell you something. Nebraska, if you're a team in the Big Ten, just stop me if I embarrass myself. If you're a team in the Big Ten West right now, or a team in the Big Ten, you look at Nebraska still as being sort of scary because of their skill position talent. I mean, they're pretty good at the skill positions. Not great, but pretty good, right?
Yeah, they are. And you know what? At a non-skill position that matters in offense, I thought, and we'll see what happens going forward, maybe you think differently. You saw some changes on the O-line because of the Corcoran ejection, excuse me.
Yeah. Corcoran ejected. Was that late in the first quarter, late in the second quarter? Second quarter.
So Brent Bank steps in at left tackle.
Yeah, number 74.
But also you saw a right tackle, Hunter Anthony.
He tried Hunter Anthony.
I thought he looked good when he was in the game.
Pretty good.
And then they took him out, and Benhart gives up a hold the next play. He comes back in.
Benhart came back. Bryce Benhart came back in. They kind of rotated, but
you don't need to rotate there. Try Hunter Anthony out.
Well, they did.
Mickey, Whipple.
You coaching?
I'm coaching. Stick with Anthony at right tackle. Believe me.
I like it when you coach.
Trust me on that one.
I like it when you coach.
Try him. If he messes up, that's on me. But keep him at right tackle.
It's bizarre when you do this, but I like it.
I'm just trying to get my advice here. What do I see?
Yeah, so you saw Brant Banks go in after the Corcoran ejection for, I guess, mostly shoved a guy's in the head. Probably had that coming.
The second one I got, I didn't see what happened the first time.
Well, it was Casey. Somebody grabbed Casey's mask,
okay,
and it was a pretty egregious. And Corcoran kind of went and defended him, kind of went after the guy, and so he got a flag for unsportsmanlike conduct. Then on the next play, he should have known they'd be watching him. Oh, they were watching him, and he got ejected.
Yep.
Corcoran ejected. In comes Brant Banks, big number 74, and he did hold up really well left tackle.
I really did enjoy the way the ref described the thing. He's like, because of his actions, number 69 has ejected himself from the game.
Yeah.
I was like, what kind of description is that?
You don't hear that very often.
No.
You don't. No, he put it on.
Because it's like he's in timeout.
Because of his own actions.
What is that?
Well, he's just. I mean,
I'm saying for the ref. I know. What is that?
Well, I guess what the ref is doing is emphasizing accountability
because of his own actions.
Well, you know
he
what?
Ejected himself from the game.
Well, you know what? It didn't bother me.
I thought it was funny. So this is a very strange description, but whatever. Man.
Well, I mean, that's essentially what happened. Anyway, so I mean, I don't know what you're going to do, and you don't have to do it right now. You don't have to do it right now, but they're going to Piscataway, and I don't know who I'm picking.
I believe I saw the early line was Nebraska 3.5 point favorites.
I'll be damned.
Early line as of yesterday.
Yeah,
3.5 point favorites.
I mean, I'm leaning toward picking them. I'm not going to lie. Nebraska. I'm not going to do it yet.
Rutgers has looked not very good the last few weeks.
They got quarterback problems.
Their offense is bad right now.
They got quarterback.
And Nebraska's defense is back.
True Red. God
True
bless
Red
him.
is no, that was Bob.
Bob.
Big Red Bob.
Big Red Bob. Sorry, Bob. My God. I'm sorry, Bob. That was a good call. Sorry, Bob.
Paul Christ is out at Wisconsin. More on that next on Early Break of the Ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
If you need to sell equipment and trucks, Ritchie Brothers' new Lincoln Satellite Yard lets you free up space at your property and get local access to all Ritchie Brothers auctions. Drop your equipment off and sell it online at any Ritchie Brothers auction, Iron Planet, or via Marketplace E. The yard is at 8801 US 6 Lincoln. It's secure and makes for easy in-person buyer inspections and pickup. Take advantage of this yard to sell at Ritchie Brothers' Great Plains Regional Auction, September 15th and 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln. Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best-in-class beer experience served by craft beer experts, guests can expect a casual, inviting local gathering place with some of the best damn burgers and fries you'll find in Lincoln. There is no better place to watch any Nebraska game other than the 50-yard line at Memorial Stadium. Hopcat is located at 6th and P in the Haymarket. To plan your next trip to Hopcat, visit www.hopcat.com.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you could earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 866-213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
They might win, they might lose, but either way, you have something to say about it. Don't miss the Husker After Party postgame show immediately following every Nebraska football game. Nick Sainert and Jake Bachhoven give instant reaction, quotes from the players and coaches, and take all your phone calls with thoughts on the game. It's the Husker After Party postgame show, only on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sponsored by Action Plumbing and Heating, Gary Michaels Quilliers, and Brent Excavate.
Sunday morning. It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
In today's day and age, people are trying to do more and more projects by themselves. That might be better on the wallet, but it can also lead to painful sounds like this. Ow! Poor guy, trying to do wiring all by himself. Let's have another listen. It's just not worth it. Don't hurt yourself or make things worse than they are already. For any of your electric needs, call Joe at Ambition Electric today at 402-217-3415 or go to ambitionelectric.com.
Let me share something to make life just a little easier. It's just one word, Bryant. If we need service on our furnace or AC, we call Bryant. Same thing goes for an electrical issue. If I have a problem with my faucet, a toilet, a drain, or a water heater, I don't need to know how to fix something. I just need to know who to call. And at our house, it's Bryant.
Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Just one call. 467-1111. Remember, we do whatever it takes.
Anybody who knows me knows I was cocky out of the womb.
It's Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I want to read you a tweet with a couple stats about Paul Chryst, the now former Wisconsin head football coach who was fired, as we pointed out, during a Green Bay Packers game in Green Bay.
Shocking.
You're trying to kill Jeff Patrikas here, our buddy from Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. You're trying to kill the guy. He's got to cover both things.
Interestingly, Jeff Patrikas. If there's two sports writers on earth that had dealt with Lance a lot, one is me and one is Jeff Patrikas. I mean, Jeff Patrikas knows Lance very well. Is a big fan of him.
We have a conversation with Jeff at some point here.
I think we're going to have to
get him on the air. All right, this comes from Matt Fortuna of The Athletic regarding Paul Chryst. Ready for this? Paul Chryst is a Madison native and a Wisconsin alum. We all knew that. He has spent 33 of his 56 years of life in town as either a kid, a Badgers quarterback, or a Wisconsin coach. He was 67-26 and 43-18 in the Big Ten.
43.
He won 3 Big Ten West titles and 2 New Year's Six Bowls. He was a 2-time Big Ten Coach of the Year. He's gone.
McIntosh, the AD at Wisconsin, better know what he's doing here. This feels like a Frank Solich firing.
It feels a lot like a Frank Solich firing.
Now, since the start of another stat, Jake.
Yeah, we like stats.
Since the start of the 2020 season, Wisconsin is 9-8 in conference play. It has lost 10 of its past 15 games against ranked opponents. Okay, now Wisconsin is 9-8 in conference play since the start of the 2020 season. Now at Nebraska, that doesn't sound that bad right now.
No.
But at Wisconsin, they're tailing off. Why fire him? Because McIntosh just played the direction of the program card. Doesn't like the direction of the program. Okay, evidently, we said that.
Yeah. Well, it was a really, really, really bad last 2 weeks for Wisconsin, getting smoked by Ohio State,
52-21,
and then getting smoked on your home field by Illinois, 34-10.
Chris McIntosh is the AD that we're looking at right now. He said, "I have concluded that now is the time for a change in leadership." This couldn't have been. Well, come on, this couldn't have been easy.
Well, I wouldn't think so. We just laid out the stats there. 67-26 as a head coach,
43-18 in the Big Ten. It's just now again direction of the program. McIntosh is a relatively inexperienced AD. If you're a Wisconsin fan now, one thing you're wondering is how much is Barry Alvarez's influence on this?
Well, Barry's always got a head influence, doesn't he?
I would think so. Now, how much now? The other part of the discussion is what does this mean for Lance Leipold? Leipold is a Wisconsin native, Jefferson, Wisconsin. Okay.
And he was a very successful college coach at Wisconsin Whitewater.
He played at Wisconsin Whitewater.
Okay.
Coached at Wisconsin Whitewater. How about this record at Wisconsin Whitewater? Well, 6 Division III national championships in 8 seasons. He was 109-6 at Wisconsin Whitewater. Okay. Fastest coach to 100 wins in NCAA history. Lance Leipold at Wisconsin Whitewater, Division III Wisconsin Whitewater, 109-6. Fastest coach in NCAA history to 100 wins. Now, you could say, oh, P. Shaw. That's Division.
I didn't say P. Shaw. That was you.
Division.
No P. Shaw over here.
Division III. I watched those games. I know, Lance. I watched those. He had to beat Mount Union. Mount Union's a power.
Yeah,
Mount Union's a power. And those teams, what I noticed watching Lance's Wisconsin Whitewater teams is they're well coached. And then he went to Buffalo, and it was the same thing. The thing that you see with Lance teams is I know it's sort of it's a general thought, but it always strikes me how well coached they are. They don't do really dumb things, although Kansas did a few dumb things down the stretch against Iowa State. I will say that.
They won the game.
Had a couple dumb penalties.
14-11.
Yeah.
They beat Iowa State.
Yeah. Kansas.
Now they're number, I think, 17 in the polls.
Yeah. Kansas.
Top 20.
Kansas beats Iowa State. By the way, Matt Campbell, how close are you to erasing his name from consideration?
He's out of my list.
The Cyclones, since the start of 2021 season, 10-8. Cyclones, since the start of the 2021 season, 5-6 in the Big 12. I ask you this, Jake. At what point, if you're Trev Alberts, you just say, I can't sell him anymore?
Pretty close to that,
yeah.
if not already.
At what point does Trev just say, I can't go to a podium and sell this guy? Okay, you know what? The Cyclones. Next 3 games. It's Oklahoma. It's Oklahoma.
Kansas? Oh,
no, Iowa State.
I'll get it pulled up.
It's Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas State. And no, not in that order, but it's Kansas State, Oklahoma, and Texas. If he wins 2 of those 3, he being Matt Campbell, I'd say yeah, he's crawled back into contention.
So, yeah, they play K-State this weekend in Ames.
Okay, big game.
Only a 2-point underdog, by the way.
Who is?
Iowa State.
Kansas State's a 2-point favorite in Ames.
That's it.
That's a lot. You know why that is? A lot of it. That is Adrian. Adrian's playing like
they're ranked.
Adrian's playing like a freak right now. By the way,
ranked. They should be favored. They're 4-1.
Okay,
I'm saying it should be more than 2 points. Is what I said. Iowa State's 3-2.
The Kansas State team that lost to Tulane.
Well, guess what? Tulane's not a bad football team.
They're not too bad.
And we all have blips.
Yeah.
We all have
Yeah,
blips.
well, God knows you do.
Iowa State. Then they play Texas, who just blew out West Virginia this past weekend, and then, like you said, Oklahoma, who is. Matt Campbell's has had Oklahoma's number. Chris Kleiman and Matt Campbell have both had the numbers of Oklahoma. They both have.
Campbell, I'm still asking you: is he off your grid?
He was never really on my grid very high. I said at the best he was like 5th when we went through our rankings.
Dave Aranda, that's another one. If you're a Nebraska fan, if you're high on Dave Aranda, he was the defensive coordinator under Gary Anderson at Wisconsin.
That's correct.
Okay. Aranda spent 3 seasons running the Badgers defense before leaving for the same position at LSU. Aranda, of course, has won a national title in 2019 with LSU and then took the Baylor job and won the Big 12. He's hot. I think he's going nowhere.
They lost to Oklahoma State this weekend.
Yeah, I think Aranda is apt to stay at Baylor. I love him at Nebraska. I love that picture. I don't think it can happen. I don't think it will happen. I think it can happen.
Well, that's why I'm curious. If you're Wisconsin, do you go after Aranda with the guy with experience there?
I think it's the same conversation as Nebraska. I think they'd love him. I think they'd love him, but I don't think you can get him.
It's different, though. I think he's got a better chance of going there because he's been there. He has been a coach there.
I think if you're a Nebraska fan with your heart set on Aranda, you better evaluate it because this doesn't help it either.
No, this of course not.
Right. This doesn't help that cause.
It's a person that had good success in his time at Wisconsin.
And let's face it. I think he'd fit better at Wisconsin. Somewhere that's not as Aranda is a quiet guy. He's not going to just love the away from football duties at Nebraska. Kleiman's like that too. I just don't think Kleiman would take the Nebraska job because of because of all it entails.
Yeah, I think Kleiman's not in this job. I don't think.
I don't think so. Now, Lance. Lance
is gonna have a lot of suitors after him.
Lance is in a tough spot.
Is he?
Yeah, in a good way. In a good way. A tough spot in a good way. Yeah, because here's why. Because he's Jake. Come on, if you can't see it, you're
I'm just curious.
Think about it.
Wisconsin's got
Kansas is having an all-time year right now.
Yes,
and the whole world is wondering where the head coach is going to go.
That's right.
Takes focus now. It takes focus off what Kansas is doing. The question is, does it take Lance's focus off what Kansas is doing?
As in so far, it appears they're 5-0.
Now he's very mature.
And they by the way, College Game Day going to Lawrence for the first time ever this weekend. Ranked TCU versus ranked Kansas.
Did you see what's going on with Lance? He's got to stay laser focused, and all this discussion's going on around him. Suddenly, Wisconsin and Nebraska have job openings, and he's got connections to both.
Oh, yeah.
This is a strange world that's cropped up for Lance, right?
Yes, it is.
And you think Wisconsin made the move to go get him. Wisconsin made the move now to go get him. Maybe it did.
Well, it's an audition for Jim Leonhard for sure. And Jim Leonhard's beloved in that state. They love that guy. And so
they have said that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is a 7-game interview for Jim Leonhard, the defensive coordinator.
It's probably his job to lose right now.
Yes.
But he can lose that if they don't play very well.
Mm-hmm. And Mickey Joseph.
Yep.
Auditioning for the job here. Maybe Lance gets shut out. Maybe Wisconsin stays with Leonhard and Nebraska stays with Mickey Joseph. And Lance is still at Kansas.
Kansas celebrates. And yes, we kept him at least for one more year.
They better give him some money.
I think they will. They'll give a little bit of that chunk to Lance, maybe. Donate it. Song of the day and NFL winners and losers is next on Early Break on the Ticket.
Please enjoy these next few moments of relaxation from Scott and Greg at Mendoza Family Insurance. If you would like to feel this relaxed about your home, auto, business, life, or commercial property insurance, please give Scott or Greg a call today. at Mendoza Family Insurance.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Get an immediate look back at the game from the people who know it best. It's the Tanner's Postgame Show and the Final Word live from Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Hear from former players and national champions like Jay Foreman, Rashawn Jackson, and Aaron Davis and see what they saw in that day's game. It's the Tanner's Postgame Show and the Final Word, live and in person, home or away at Tanner's Bar and Grill, brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure. Only here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Here's to days spent roaming and to sleeping beneath the stars, to casting another line and letting time float by. From Shadron State Park to Indian Cave State Park and every recreation area, historical and state park in between. Here's to your adventures, your memories. Here's to going out and enjoying your Nebraska state parks. Plan your next trip today at yournebraskaparks.org. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Registration is now open for winter sports leagues for adult basketball and youth basketball through Lincoln Parks and Rec. Adult kickball and volleyball registration are also open. Competitive and recreational leagues are available, so whether you're an athlete, a former athlete, or a wannabe athlete, there's a league for you. Plus, check out their paid opportunities for officials and referees. Contact Lincoln Parks and Rec to learn more or head to teamsideline.com/LincolnNE before October 16th to register your team. That's teamsideline.com/LincolnNE.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
If you need to sell equipment and trucks, Ritchie Brothers' new Lincoln Satellite Yard lets you free up space at your property and get local access to all Ritchie Brothers auctions. Drop your equipment off and sell it online at any Ritchie Brothers auction, Iron Planet, or via Marketplace E. The yard is at 8801 US 6 Lincoln. It's secure and makes for easy in-person buyer inspections and pickup. Take advantage of this yard to sell at Ritchie Brothers Great Plains Regional Auction, September 15th and 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer two of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money, but like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're
No,
a big tough?
never feel like an
if
idiot.
you're a big tough guy this morning,
But you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
he stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I'm a one-way motorway. I'm a road that drives away, follows you back home. I'm a streetlight shining man. I'm a white light blinding bright, running off and on. It's times like these you learn to live again. It's times like these you give and give and give. It's times like these you learn to love again. It's times like these, time and time again.
Song of the day, Times Like These by the Foo Fighters, 464-568-5. 1 is bad, 10 is good. Text your rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
I'm a brand new sky to hang stars upon tonight.
Skipping on me, apparently. Kid. Well, we'll shut that one down. It got skipping on me. Again, your Song of the Day, Times Like These by Foo Fighters, 464-568-5. 1 is bad, 10 is good. Text your rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
You know what my favorite sentence of the show so far is? It got skipping on me.
It got skipping on me. It did.
It got skipping on me. That's a good song. I think you've played it before. I do like it, though, so I'm not going to give it a low score.
Yeah,
you've been doing this for 7 years.
Thank you.
On one hand, you've been doing it for 7 years, and there's bound to be some repeats. On the other hand, there's zillions of songs out there.
And I have played zillions of songs.
I'm not going to give it a bad grade. I'm kind of irritating you today.
Yeah, I tried to, apparently. What's going on?
I don't know. Why do I do that?
You tell me.
I can't. Easy there, champ. I'll give that, in an effort to get back in your good graces, mostly 7.5. 7.5.
Gus is gone. I don't know where he's at.
What would Gus give it?
Probably to 8.
What are the chances?
Heard from Gus today.
What are the chances that Gus rolls in and just says I've overslept?
He usually texts me if he's going to be late, so I'm guessing he's just overslept. I hope that's the case.
Yeah. My guess at this point he's snoozing.
He's just snoozing, yeah, sleeping.
6:57.
Yeah, because if he's late, he usually texts me like at 6:05. So I'll be there at 6:15. But
Gus is our producer who's AWOL right now. We hope he's okay.
Yes, Gus, if you're out there, shoot us a text. Are you okay?
Yeah, we're manning the ship by ourselves.
We are doing that. And you know what we can do while we're manning the ship is one of our favorite segments of the week. NFL winners and losers for week 4.
Are you ready for this?
Here we go. Last night, I think, was the biggest winner of week 4. The Chiefs, the Chiefs beat the Bucs 41-31 on Sunday Night Football. Patrick Mahomes was electric as usual. The Bucs defense has been good this year. It was not last night. They did nothing right. The defense is still giving up yards right now. 41-31, the Chiefs go in and roll the Bucs. Biggest winner of week 4 last night. Moving on. The Eagles are the only team still unbeaten in the NFL. And you know what, Sip? It wasn't easy. They were down early, 14-0 to Jacksonville. Came back. They win 29-21. They sacked Trevor Lawrence 3 times. They forced 4 fumbles and recovered all of them of Trevor Lawrence. Eagles win 29-21, 4-0 start.
That's a mean Eagles defense, right? That's a very intimidating.
They had 9 sacks last week against Carson Wentz. 9 sacks.
That's an intimidating defense that the Eagles have, right?
It is.
And they're nasty.
Yes.
They're nasty.
Yes.
All right, keep going.
Moving on. A winner, a kicker, Sip, as a winner, number 3. The Vikings go to London. They beat the Saints 28-25. Greg Joseph, 5 for 5 on field goals. The Vikings were struggling to score in the red zone and just outside of it, but Greg Joseph, money, 5 for 5. Vikings 3-1.
Nice.
28-25 winners in London over the Saints. Number 4. No one saw this coming. When Dak Prescott got hurt week 1 against the Bucs for the Cowboys, they thought, the season's over here. Now it's Cooper Rush time. We're screwed. What has Cooper Rush done? He's won his last 3 starts. They're 3-1. Cooper Rush is not turning the ball over. He had 2 touchdowns yesterday. He was efficient. The Cowboys are 3-1 and 3-0 with Cooper Rush at quarterback.
Where did he come from?
Central Michigan.
Really?
Been there for a couple of years. He's just a guy that just seems like a guy, but he's not making mistakes. Cowboys, not dead. 3-1. Number 5 winner, Geno Smith has had an awakening in Seattle. Sip, here's a score for you. Yesterday in Detroit, the Seahawks beat the Lions 48-45.
Whoa.
That was not in overtime. That was a regulation game.
Wow.
48-45. Geno Smith was running for touchdowns. He was passing for touchdowns. The Seahawks still are not a good football team. I mean, the Lions have got a lot of questions to answer because they are better than 1-3.
Oh, Campbell.
It's important. It's unfortunate.
Campbell.
Yeah, Campbell, the motivator. That defense was not motivated yesterday.
Oh, boy.
To the losers, Matt Rule might be unemployed as of today. Right now, he's still employed as the head coach of the Panthers, but Sip, it is coming soon. I mean, they have not had a tough game, a tough opponent in their first 4 games. If they were competent, they'd be 3-1 or 4-0. I mean, they have not played anybody. And they blow a game to the Cardinals 26-16 at their home field. Mayfield's been terrible at quarterback. McCaffrey's playing but banged up. The defense is not good. Matt Rule is going to be the first coach fired in the NFL. You heard it here first. He's going to be the first head coach fired this season in the NFL soon.
If you can't get Lance Leipold, is Matt Rule on your list?
No. Kind of. I don't know. Does he still want to coach college football? What's the question?
He might want a job.
Is he motivated following this lack of success with the Panthers? Who knows? Number 2, John Harbaugh, head coach of the Ravens. Sip, it was 20-all with about 4 minutes to go, and the Ravens were at the 3-yard line of Buffalo. And on 4th and goal, they go for it instead of kicking a field goal. It's picked off, so they get the ball at the 20-yard line now because it's picked in the end zone. Bills go down, wind the clock, and they kick a field goal as time expires. So they didn't kick the field goal. They did not get the points. And Buffalo was not tearing them up. They had 10 points in the second half. So John Harbaugh said, analytics said I should go for it. Obviously, now I probably shouldn't have. John Harbaugh, it's an L for you, buddy. 2-2.
I mean, do you fault him on the analytics? On the analytics, if he is reasoning that way, I mean, analytics, if you're an analytics guy, you say, okay.
I didn't take him as an analytics person. John Harbaugh's a football person.
What is an analytics person?
Good
we'll
question.
Have to talk about that.
Yeah, no,
I don't know what you mean by that.
Number 3, the Steelers, they bring in Kenny Pickett because Mitch Trubisky got benched at halftime. He throws 3 picks in the game, and they blow the lead. The Jets go into Pittsburgh and win. That was a home game.
Whatever.
Regardless, Jets
won.
Jets beat Pittsburgh 24-20.
Ooh, Aaron Davis.
Yeah, AD's going to be a sad game.
Oh.
1-3 for the Steelers.
Yeah.
They're not good. Also, the same division as a loser, the Cleveland Browns. Sip. The Falcons beat the Browns with Marcus Mariota, the starting quarterback, completing a total of 7 passes in the game. He was 7 for 16.
Man.
The Browns still lose the game, 23-20. I don't know how, but the Browns are 2-2 with a just baffling loss to Atlanta. I don't get it. 7 completions, 7 completions, and they win the football game. Atlanta. Number 5 loser. They don't give Justin Fields a chance to throw it deep, and when he does, it's not very good. The Bears. I mean, the Bears were a fake 2-1. They're now probably still a fake 2-2. They're probably a 0-4 to 1-3 team. Their defense is okay, but the Giants beat them 20-12. Tonight, Niners, Rams, Monday Night Football.
Okay, what do you think about that matchup?
Take the Rams. Niners are playing okay with Jimmy G. He's back. I like their chances more than with Trey Lance, so it's kind of, I guess, a blessing in disguise if you want to win now. But I think Rams win a close one.
Covered a lot of ground there. Did you change up the music, by the way?
I did.
Why?
We got 7. We got 7 primetime songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep the same music every time.
I like that other music.
I have 7 options. You mean this one right here? That one?
Yeah, do it again.
I'm not redoing it.
Do it again.
No,
Do it again.
start over. Try again.
I like that music. Hey, just as a policy statement right now, we're going to keep that other music.
The first one?
Yeah,
Okay.
the
1 through 3. Got it. I got 7. I was trying to switch it up.
I like that other music a lot better. I mean, I like what you did today. It was great. You covered a lot of ground. It was interesting, but that other music's way better.
But then I guess I'll play the first 3, not the last 3 next time. I was just trying to change up the sound.
That's okay.
Top of the hour next on Early Break on the Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
If you need to sell equipment and trucks, Ritchie Brothers' new Lincoln Satellite Yard lets you free up space at your property and get local access to all Ritchie Brothers auctions. Drop your equipment off and sell it online at any Ritchie Brothers auction, Iron Planet, or via Marketplace E. The yard is at 8801 US 6 Lincoln. It's secure and makes for easy in-person buyer inspections and pickup. Take advantage of this yard to sell at Ritchie Brothers' Great Plains Regional Auction, September 15th and 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln.
Please enjoy these next few moments of relaxation from Scott and Greg at Mendoza Family Insurance. If you would like to feel this relaxed about your home, auto, business, life, or commercial property insurance, please give Scott or Greg a call today at Mendoza Family Insurance.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
They might win, they might lose, but either way, you have something to say about it. Don't miss the Husker After Party postgame show immediately following every Nebraska football game. Nick Sainert and Jake Bachhoven give instant reaction, quotes from the players and coaches, and take all your phone calls with thoughts on the game. It's the Husker After Party postgame show, only on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sponsored by Action Plumbing and Heating, Gary Michaels Quilt Years, and Brent Excavating.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best-in-class beer experience served by craft beer experts, guests can expect a casual, inviting local gathering place with some of the best damn burgers and fries you'll find in Lincoln. There is no better place to watch any Nebraska game other than the 50-yard line at Memorial Stadium. Hopcat is located at 6th and P in the Haymarket. To plan your next trip to Hopcat, visit www.hopcat.com. People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit asbmidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
Here's to days spent roaming, and to sleeping beneath the stars, to casting another line and letting time float by. From Shadron State Park to Indian Cave State Park and every recreation area, historical, and state park in between. Here's to your adventures, your memories. Here's to going out and enjoying your Nebraska state parks. Plan your next trip today at yournebraskaparks.org. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppell Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Monday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break. Fun show so far. You get the podcast at theticketfm.com. Thank you for all the calls and texts at 402-464-5685. You can comment and watch on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. This show sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Can I thank Jennifer and hubby for buying our drinks last night
Not my drinks, your drinks.
Outback? Yeah, our drinks last night. Thank you so much for that. I had 2 margaritas too, so that came in handy. Yeah. So there's that. By the way, the last time Nebraska trailed at halftime on Saturday.
They did.
The score was at halftime, Jake. The score was at halftime.
No, it was tied 21-all.
Oh.
It was 21-all at halftime.
So forget it.
Well, you can give the stat though still.
The last time Nebraska was tied or trailed at halftime, or let's say,
the stat doesn't work. You know, when the last time it was tied at halftime.
Yeah, we don't know that. Well, let's say this. Somebody asked me what was the last time that Nebraska won a game where it trailed at halftime? It was Rutgers, at Rutgers in 2020 in the COVID year, game nobody saw. I
watched it.
It was on TV, but nobody saw it in the stadium. Hardly.
No. Oh, yeah.
There's nobody there. Nebraska trailed that game 14-7 and went on to win. I don't know why somebody asked me that question. I just botched the first part of it.
It was 21-all at halftime.
Yeah, 21-all. So Nebraska pitches a shutout in the second half.
Yes.
Pitches a shutout.
They pitched a shutout in 3 of the 4 quarters. They
How
scored
about
all
that?
21 points in the second.
How about the defense? As we mentioned 3 times in the first segment, Indiana 2 for 15 on third down. Nebraska 6 for 17, acceptable. But Indiana has 8 3-and-outs. 8 3-and-outs. Nobody saw that coming, right?
No.
Casey Thompson, disjointed performance, but that touchdown pass early in the fourth quarter to Trey Palmer, 71 yards, was a gorgeous pass, got separation, and then Nebraska grounded out that drive, and they got a victory. And now Nebraska goes to Rutgers, and we're both leaning toward picking Nebraska.
Let's stay right there. 464-5685. Call or text. As always, Nebraska is somehow, some way tied for first in the Big Ten West right now at 1-1 with 5 other teams. Wisconsin, the only team not in first place, and their coach got fired yesterday. Paul Chryst, if you missed that, Paul Chryst is out at Wisconsin. So I saw the early line was Nebraska a 3.5-point favorite at Rutgers. Once again, on the road, they're a favorite here. My question is, how confident are you, the listeners, that Nebraska can win back-to-back games and do this in Rutgers on Friday?
Well, the fact that we even raise it as a possibility, as good possibility, is a tribute to that program over there on Stadium Drive, that they've held together well enough that we can even have this conversation. And if Nebraska loses to Indiana, we're probably not having a conversation, right?
No.
I mean, probably not, because we're worried about it unraveling.
No, we're not. If Nebraska lost Saturday, we're not even talking about a win.
What about it? What if Nebraska would have lost a very close game to Indiana?
I don't think so. They had to win the game because they've had so many close losses for a couple years now. That doesn't do anything for you.
I tend to agree.
More
with
of
you.
the same.
I tend to agree with you. Yeah, because that's what we'd be talking about.
You have to get over the hump, and they got over the hump on Saturday. By the way, so I'm looking up some stats for Rutgers. See what do we have? What are we working with here on Friday? Excuse me. Rutgers. Here's your stats. They lose to Ohio State 49-10 As you said, there's quarterback problems, injuries everywhere at Rutgers. Rutgers against Ohio State was passing 11 for 20 for 80 yards. 80. A pick and a touchdown.
They're struggling at quarterback.
At rushing, they had 36 carries for 107. That's an average of 3 yards a carry. So they had less than 200 yards of offense. They had 187 of offense.
I'm not going to judge them
to Ohio State.
I'm not going to judge them too much on what they did or didn't do against Ohio State, because nobody does or does anything against or doesn't do anything against. Well, most people don't do much against Ohio State in this league.
Well, they had less than 200 yards of offense,
Right.
still less than 200.
Well,
so you're not facing. And by the way, the whole season, what Rutgers since game one has had issues with offense. They've won games with their defense when they won. I mean, they were 3-0 starting off. They look at some of these scores they've had.
Boston College.
Yeah,
that's a good win.
They
by
beat
the way,
BC. They came back from that one, 22-21.
that gets your attention, by the way, because that was in Boston.
Okay, well then they beat Wagner.
Wagner
66-7.
doesn't count. Wagner's
No.
one of the worst FBS
Fine.
programs
And they
out
beat
there.
Temple 16-14 on the road. So it's
Okay.
another road win. But then since Big Ten play started, they gave up they had 2 defensive touchdowns against them. Iowa had what, two pick sixes in the
I
game?
think so, yeah.
27-10 on your home field, a loss to Iowa.
Mhm.
And then 49-10, a loss to Ohio State. Per ESPN, Nebraska is a 3-point favorite. Not 3.5, but 3-point favorite.
Yeah, I give them a lot of credit for that win on Chestnut Hill. You know what Chestnut Hill
That's
is?
in Boston College.
Yeah.
But
I give them a lot of
it's
credit
about
for
Big
that
Ten
win.
play now, Sip. It's a nice non-conference win,
Mhm.
but it's Big Ten play.
Boston College, by the way, just beat Louisville.
Louisville's not very good.
No, they're not.
Congrats. Nice win.
Boston College is 2-3. Still, I say that's a good win for Rutgers to go to Boston College and win. What are we dealing with Rutgers? You're dealing with a team that's struggling at quarterback. That Vedral played, and a little bit. He played against Ohio State. What was Vedral's numbers?
He didn't pass it all. He had 4 carries. Vedral yesterday on Saturday had 4 carries for 10 yards, didn't attempt to pass.
Vedral has been banged up. Now, Vedral will do all he can to get ready for this game against Nebraska for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Now they went to a guy named Evan Simon, who's
Young
a
guy.
sophomore out of
Yeah.
Mount Joy, Pennsylvania, who didn't do much in the game. Again, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 74 yards passing on 19 attempts.
Was that the only 2 quarterbacks they played?
Yeah, they had a pass attempt by Aaron Crickshank. It was a trick play, but yeah, it's just Simon and Vedral.
Okay,
that's it. And Vedral did not attempt to pass. 4 rushes for 10 yards. That's it for Noah.
You're not gonna. I mean, part of the reason why Nebraska's favored is because Rutgers' offense is not very good. Okay, or just very. Let's just say bad.
But the problem is that, and this is something that Nebraska has to do themselves to help us overcome this, Nebraska fans, is that how many times under Scott Frost did you feel great about a win, potentially generating momentum for the team, and it just fell flat in its face the next week?
No, you're
right. I go back to the COVID year, Sip. I mean, this is the biggest example of all of them.
Okay.
Nebraska beats Penn State.
Yeah.
Here in Lincoln.
Yeah.
And their next game is at Illinois.
Yeah.
Or is that here? No,
it's here. It was
Sorry,
here.
even worse.
No, it
Nebraska
was
played
here.
home
Yeah.
against Illinois.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
And just threw a clunker.
And they got murdered in the game.
They did. They did.
With the chance to generate some momentum.
McCaffrey started the game.
He did.
And it was a disaster.
Yes, it was. And there goes your momentum. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's right. You're right.
Yeah. COVID year.
But that's an example of one. No, I'm writing that. Yeah, they beat Penn State. The next week was Illinois. Had to be. 100%.
COVID year, they lost at Northwestern, right?
Yes.
And then they.
I'm just saying. I know. I know.
You're right.
I know. I'm right.
No, you're right.
They had a chance to.
You're
beat
right.
Illinois
I was thinking.
back-to-back games.
Yeah, you're right. They lost to Northwestern, and that's when Adrian got benched for throwing that. I mean, for various things, but throwing that incredibly bad interception.
Yeah, he did.
Where I gasped.
Yeah.
Or the state gasped.
It was a horrible throw.
Then they came back, and you're right. They somehow beat Penn State. Now, Penn State was really down that year.
Well, it's how Will Levis that
And
game.
Will Levis
now
came
in Kentucky.
You're right. Penn State Penn State comes to Lincoln and loses, and you think Nebraska, okay, you got a pretty good win. Let's see what you got. Illinois is coming to town, and Illinois comes to town and wins 41-23.
Yeah, I mean, this killed you.
Right. So now what you're talking now, let's fast forward now to this year. You're right. Let's build some momentum. And let's face it now. Purdue, that's the next game for Nebraska after Rutgers. Purdue's not some unbeatable force here. I mean,
no,
they did get it. I get it. Purdue went to Minnesota and won a big game, 20-10. But I watched it. Purdue's not. Now, Purdue was banged up. They did win that game without their right tackle. Purdue goes to Minnesota, wins without its right tackle, without a starting receiver, and without a starting running back.
And with your quarterback banged up and was a game time decision. Aiden O'Connell did play, but he was not for sure as of Friday playing that.
On Tip Your Cap Monday, you tip your cap to Jeff Brom. Vegas Bobcat said, stop doing that. You're embarrassing yourself. Am I embarrassing myself by saying tip your cap?
No.
I've done a lot of embarrassing things. I mean, as you know.
Yeah.
Is that embarrassing?
No.
Out of the things I've done in my life, there's some big embarrassments. Tip your cap Monday would seem to rank pretty low, Vegas Bobcat.
I agree with that.
Right?
Yeah, I agree. Don't let him get in your head.
So you
don't let him get in your head. Come on. He's trying to get in your head.
Tip your cap Monday. You tip your cap to Jeff Brom.
Well, I do.
I know. But you know what's going on at Purdue right now. You know what's going on at Purdue right now. That fan base is worried about Brom going to Louisville.
Well, I would, understandable. But right now, you think for Purdue, we could win the West.
Absolutely.
You just beat the team that was perceived before this weekend as the team to beat in the conference play, right? In the Big Ten.
Home field. They went to Minnesota and silenced those fans. Now, but I'm still saying, I watched the game. I watched that game more than I watched Michigan, Iowa. I did what you did. I was flipping back and forth, but I found myself watching Purdue, Minnesota more than Michigan, Iowa. And Purdue is not. I mean, man, they're not that great.
Nobody's great in the Big Ten. I mean, in the Big Ten West.
In the Big Ten. No, they're not.
The West.
They're not. It is. I mean, I don't want to go too far down. Like I said, I'm not thrusting Nebraska in that conversation too far.
Yeah, it is truly wide open.
Oh God, is it wide open?
And I would say, if
Illinois is the team to beat.
If Nebraska were
is Illinois the team to beat?
I think Purdue still is.
Okay,
because of what Purdue did to
going to Minnesota. Yeah.
They appear to be the team to beat, even with 2 losses to Syracuse, who was a good team. They're undefeated, I believe, until this last weekend if they won.
And Penn State.
Penn State, who's top 10 team right now.
Okay, I interrupted. You said if Nebraska were to...
Well, if Nebraska were to beat Rutgers, I mean, this is what I go back to about them over these last couple of years not putting back-to-back wins together. And now, if you can do that, a dangerous... A team that is an underdog, which Nebraska still is a dangerous team. If they get momentum, that is a very, very dangerous squad if they find confidence.
Mm-hmm.
They've been lacking confidence for a while. I'm not saying, again, it's great. It's not impressive wins to beat Indiana and Rutgers. I mean, those are not teams you really brag about when you beat them. But when you're a team that struggled to win like Nebraska has, those are huge wins for you. And that gives you confidence to go
when you're
at Purdue.
Yeah, and when you're a team without the head coach and defensive coordinator that started the season, it's tip your cap Monday, and you tip your cap to Nebraska for hanging in there and playing with as much fight. They didn't play all that well on Saturday, but they did play with fight. They fought. I mean, they were scrapping. It was a scrap. Carrie.
Yes, our friend.
Carrie texts in, guys, WTH. The pressure is off now. The pressure is off now. The shock factor is gone. Watch Nebraska win the West.
There's a portion of the fans that feel that's going to happen. I've talked to several of them.
Then isn't that Mickey's job?
Oh, yeah. Listen, if Mickey Joseph wins the West, he is the head coach going forward.
And top lieutenant's back too.
And Bill Bush is back.
Now, who else is back in that scenario? Did you reel them all back?
Well, I don't know. That's a tough question.
Now, that's a good one, isn't it?
Well, it depends on, is the offensive line playing at a better level?
Well, if they win the West, it's playing at some level.
Right. Well, I know.
Right?
Well,
Everybody's
I'm just
playing
saying,
at some
what does it look
level.
like? Yeah.
I mean, you reel them all back. I mean, is Joey Connors back as a special teams coach? I'm talking about winning the West, Jake.
Joey Connors' first game had a punt block for a touchdown
Yeah.
and a 22-yard punt return by Trey Palmer.
Right.
Hello.
Yeah. If they win the West, who you fire?
Look at the Voices City if they win the West. What are we doing? Carrie's right. I mean, the monkey's off the back. This year is basically,
Oh, it feels good, doesn't it?
there's no pressure. There is absolutely no pressure because the coach is fired.
Can we just talk like this, please? Just let us do it. Don't. Is anybody saying you guys? You need to stifle yourselves? Are you hearing that on the text line?
Let's see here.
Can you hear the text line? Can you hear the text line? Can you see it?
I see the text
Yeah.
line.
Do you see it? Is anybody saying stifle yourselves? Because what I'm saying is, can we just talk about this for a second?
Yeah. Someone says, slow down. They won one game, guys.
I
They
don't
won
think
one
we want
game.
to slow down. Can't we just enjoy that for a sec? Can't we get a little out of control after everything that's happened here? Think about September.
AJ says, win the West. Win the West? Let's just win next week, man.
Can't we just have some
What are we
fun?
doing here?
September was a disaster, Jake.
It was bad.
Oh, it was horrible. 2 Sundays, guys got fired.
Well, we all said before the season that October was the gettable month. If they're going to make a push this year, they could either go 3-1 or 4-0 in October. You had Indiana, you got Rutgers, you got Purdue, you got a bye week, and you have Illinois.
Yeah, don't tell me Illinois. Don't come at me with Sip. They can't beat Illinois. Yeah, they can.
Oh boy, I got to read this text. This is from we need a measured text today because we're drinking too much Kool-Aid after one win. And I'm not saying they're going to win the West at all. No, they're going to struggle to make a bowl game still. Doc, D-O-C-K Doc is here. He says, this conversation is proving my point exactly. Nebraska wins one game that they're favored to win. And now Nebraska fans are talking about winning the West. This team has not made a bowl game the last 5 years. It's stunning how quickly people forget how bad this team has been just because they won one game, their first game against the FBS opponent on it.
You know what I'm countering with, Doc? D-O-C-K?
Yeah.
Hey, Doc, who you picking on Saturday?
Friday.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Ooh, that's going to be fun. Saturday off. Hey, Doc, who you picking on Friday, excuse me. Doc, who you picking? Go ahead, text. 464-5685.
Nebraska's a 3-point favorite.
Doc,
right now.
I bet you're tempted to pick Nebraska. 2-1.
Terry is here to calm us down also. Again, we need to hear both sides here. We can't be all elated here. There's got to be some measured talk. Terry says, in 2 weeks, we have gone from maybe not winning another game to winning the West. People, calm down. It was Indiana.
No, this though highlights the importance of that Indiana game. Okay, it does. It highlights the importance of that game. It was very important for this program to win that game.
I think if they lost that game, they may have lost every game the rest of the way.
Well, I don't know about that, but
serious, I do believe that.
Right. But listen, guys, college football is all about emotion and momentum.
Boom.
Right? Who you picking Friday? Who was the last? Terry?
That was Terry.
Terry, who you picking?
And Doc, yeah.
Who you
Terry.
picking? I mean, I'm inclined toward Nebraska.
I think I would take Nebraska right now.
Well, that's all right. And we just established that Purdue is not. Come on. Purdue is Purdue. I mean, I'm not going to pick Nebraska at Purdue, especially if O'Connell's playing.
Well, let's see if he stays healthy.
Right.
This
See if he
weekend.
stays healthy. Right.
Big if there.
Right. That'll be tough, especially. I don't know who Purdue plays this week, but why don't you figure that out while I talk?
You want to take a guess on that one? So you can take a
Not
guess.
really. Not when you can look
Probably
it
a
up.
Big Ten team, right? All right. Purdue this weekend plays. Ooh, they play at Maryland.
Oh,
right.
L.
Now, okay, hang on.
L.
Hang on.
Hang an L on Purdue.
Pause. Purdue at Maryland. 11 a.m. kick. You want to guess the spread right now? Opening spread in that game.
Maryland should be a 3-point favorite.
3.5.
Yeah.
Maryland.
Okay.
Pick them. Terrapins are 4-1.
I'm taking
with
Maryland.
one loss by 7 points at Michigan.
Ooh, that's a big game. That's a strangely big and important game.
Yep. They could get banged up in that game,
All I'm saying to the people who are telling us to calm down is, who are you picking Friday? That's what I'm responding with.
For those who are getting mad at us for drinking too much Kool-Aid, I'm not guzzling any Kool-Aid.
I'm not either. I'm just saying they got a good chance to win their second Big Ten game and stay atop the standings. And I don't mind at all that we're talking like this, by the way, because it's been a rugged year. It's been a rugged how many years?
When you
are we going to say 5?
It has been a rugged 5 years. I mean, Kansas had turned around their program in less than 2 years. Right?
Okay, why is that relevant?
I'm saying that they experienced some success. They had a nice win last year, and they had an early win this year. Something has sparked their belief that they could win. For a program that has sucked forever, they turned it around quickly. Nebraska is not a team that is lacking talent. We talked about this.
Hold on. Now the Kool-Aid is kicking in.
No, we just said that you said earlier in the show, their skill position guys in offense are pretty good.
But
good running back,
easy,
good receiver. Vogelek's playing well. He's back at tight end.
I don't know how many all Big Ten players are running around out there
either.
Right. How many NFL players are running around?
I'm saying a team that starts to believe is dangerous. That has been kind of a seller.
Yeah. I mean, they're not now. I'm not saying they're bereft of talent. I picked them to win 7 games. If they were bereft of talent, I wouldn't pick them to win 7. I was wrong. They're not going to win 7.
What if they did though? Hey, they've got 7 games left and they got 2 wins right now. You don't need 5 more.
And that schedule,
Wisconsin and Iowa are beatable.
That's not schedule's not as tough as we thought it was going to be because of that, right? Because Iowa and Wisconsin don't look like Iowa and Wisconsin, especially Wisconsin. Braylon Allen rushed for 2 yards against
carries.
Illinois. Braylon Allen, 8 carries, 2 yards. Mertz
sucks.
There's a caution. Hey, you know what? There's a cautionary tale in Madison. If you get a quarterback that drags you down, good luck. Now, they don't have receivers either. That's a big part of that discussion. Now, but Mertz, I mean, come on, that's what you got, Mertz?
Well, Bielema was like, we know you can't throw the ball on us, so we're going to stack the box and good luck. And Mertz did nothing.
I'll tell you what, right now, you're taking Casey Thompson over Mertz, right?
Graham Mertz on Saturday was 17 of 32, 206, a touchdown, and 2 picks.
You're taking Casey over Mertz, and you're taking Casey over Petrus, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, that schedule that we thought was really rough in November, Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa, is not looking as rough. Now, Michigan is going to be rough. You poured cold water on that a little bit earlier. I'm not pouring cold water. They're tough. I watched Michigan.
Pour cold water on Michigan. They're a good team.
Really good.
I just said
that
Maryland went on the road and only lost by 7 to them. That's why I said it's not unbeatable.
Michigan's good.
Yeah, they'll likely beat you. I'd like to see where Nebraska's at in terms of their confidence going into that game. Have they won 5 straight games at that point? I said if okay. Before we get to break,
this has been a crazy segment.
We're out of control.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to tell you about this event coming up. I'm gonna give away some tickets to this. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
There is an event that is basically meant for you because it's called SIP Nebraska.
Whoa.
Yeah. SIP Nebraska this Friday and this Saturday at Haymarket Park. It's a great event. You've got breweries and wineries from all across the state and distilleries as well. They go all the way around the ballpark at Haymarket Park inside. It's awesome. It's from 4 to 10 p.m. on Friday, so you can watch the football game there. And on Saturday, it's from 1 to 10 p.m. Unlimited tastings of Nebraska wines, hard ciders, craft beers, and spirits. Again, you can watch the game on Friday, the Nebraska Rutgers game on their big jumbo screen at Haymarket Park. They got lawn games, live bands, live comedy, food trucks, and more. Gosh. And a free mobile massage, Sip.
Gosh.
If you want to win 2 tickets to this, caller 5 right now at 402-464-5685 will win 2 passes to choose either for Friday or Saturday. Your choice. 2 passes, though. 464-5685. Call the 5. If you don't win the tickets, you can still get your own tickets at sipnebraska.com.
That sounds like a fun event.
So let's make it happen. I'll be there. We're going to do our show there on Friday. Now, you'll be in Piscataway, but pregame show.
Who's we?
The station's going to do the,
Really?
the pregame
Is
show.
there a pregame out there?
Yes.
I'll be in Piscataway.
You will. And, hope you enjoy it.
Can you handle that pregame without me?
Yes.
I do. Let's not put that in the ether. I don't love Piscataway.
It was kind of a sarcastic love of Piscataway. I've been there before. The sun does not shine there. It's always miserable and cloudy. More next and early break on the ticket.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
A good game with good friends. But isn't it time to up the score when it comes to the food? Wings & Rings is here for every football fan. Catch the game on one of their big screens or snag a tailgate pack to go. They're cranking up the heat and throwing in mad flavor this season. Stop by your locally owned Wings & Rings on O Street, Meridian Park, or 48th and Old Cheney in Williamsburg Village, or grab some crave-worthy Wings & Rings to go. Make them your go-to destination to watch your team bring home the win. Wings & Rings. Game time just got better.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Let me share something to make life just a little easier. It's just one word, Bryant. If we need service on our furnace or AC, we call Bryant. Same thing goes for an electrical issue. If I have a problem with my faucet, a toilet, a drain, or a water heater, I don't need to know how to fix something. I just need to know who to call. And at our house, it's Bryant.
Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Just one call. 467-1111. Remember, we do whatever it takes.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer 2 of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Registration is now open for winter sports leagues for adult basketball and youth basketball through Lincoln Parks and Rec. Adult kickball and volleyball registration are also open. Competitive and recreational leagues are available, so whether you're an athlete, a former athlete, or a wannabe athlete, there's a league for you. Plus, check out their paid opportunities for officials and referees. Contact Lincoln Parks and Rec to learn more or head to teamsideline.com/LincolnNE before October 16th to register your team. That's teamsideline.com/LincolnNE.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
We're on the air.
Back.
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
To more of Early Break with Sip and Jake. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Once again, thank you for all the calls and texts today at 402-464-5685. Keep them coming. Lots of response from yesterday from Nebraska's 35-21 win over Indiana. Rutgers up next Friday night in Piscataway. You will be there. I will not. I think DP is going out to Piscataway too, Sip. I think you and DP will both be out in Piscataway. So enjoy that.
All right.
By the way, good text coming in. You realize who else plays this weekend? We mentioned that Purdue plays against Maryland on the road. You realize that Iowa plays at Illinois this weekend?
Jeez Louise.
The 4-1 Illinois Fighting Illini.
Yeah, that's a big game.
See, what do you think the spread is for that?
Okay, say the game. Say the game. Where's that?
It's 6:30 kickoff. Iowa at Illinois.
Oh my God, that's a big game.
What's the spread?
Now, wait a second. That's on Saturday?
Yes.
I will watch that. I will be back.
You'll be able to watch Saturday football. Okay.
Wait a second. That's a huge game. I'd almost love to go to that game.
Well,
is that going overboard?
Maybe you could.
Would that be going overboard?
Maybe you could. You have the day off.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. Why don't you guess the spread for that one?
So Iowa going to Illinois. Well, your reaction tells me Illinois is a favorite. Illinois should be the favorite at home. Illinois should be the favorite by 4.5.
3.5, Illinois.
Okay, I'm not doing too bad today.
You've been pretty good.
Yeah,
I've done pretty well.
Illinois 3.5. Ooh, what a big game! How about Bielema beats a team on Saturday? They took to they won. Bielema won 3 Big Ten titles at Wisconsin.
I'm aware of that. Back in a row, right?
Yeah, 2010 to 2012.
Mm-hmm.
10, 11, 12. Okay?
One of those was a beatdown of Nebraska.
Okay. Now he goes. So now think about Bielema right now. Bielema rolls into Wisconsin, beats Wisconsin 34-10. The team he coached at. Now he's going. His team that he played at, Iowa, is coming in.
He's got a tattoo, I believe, of Iowa on his body somewhere.
Okay.
From what people
I think on his calf.
Reporting. Yeah, thank you. It's reporting.
I don't know if it's his calf, but I think it is.
There's a Hawkeye logo somewhere on him.
Well, okay, that's great.
That's public knowledge. It's not
weirdo. Iowa.
He's
now the team he played at is coming in, and he's a favorite. Bielema riding fairly high right now.
Okay. So let's pause with Brett Bielema.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's do this.
Brett Bielema's 4-1. They just waylaid Wisconsin. We've talked about
year
this.
2.
We've talked about this head coaching search for Nebraska. We brought up, of course, Mickey Joseph, Lance Leipold, Dave Aranda, Matt Campbell's in the conversation there. Maybe not much anymore. Would Brett Bielema make the leap to Nebraska?
I don't know.
If they went after him, if they asked for an interview.
Wouldn't it be interesting? Bielema played at Iowa, coached at Wisconsin, coached at Illinois, now coaches at Nebraska. I mean, you're touring the Big Ten
his way around the West.
Yeah.
Just gallivanting.
You could do a whole lot worse than Brett Bielema. Now, let's see, though, if Illinois pulls a Minnesota. You see what I'm saying now?
Yes.
Minnesota, I mean, we have to acknowledge something. We did a lot last week of saying, look at Minnesota stamping itself as the favorite in the West. But what did I say last week? Let's see what they got. Let's see what they got against Purdue. You know, I didn't pick Purdue to win, but you know, all last week I expressed some caution, like, okay, wait a second. Minnesota's got to prove it now. They didn't prove it. They couldn't run the ball against Purdue. Ibrahim didn't play. Mohamed Ibrahim didn't play.
Star running back, yeah.
But they couldn't run the ball. Minnesota couldn't run it against Purdue. Okay. I mean, Minnesota coming to Lincoln, that game doesn't look quite as daunting right now. They just looked ordinary.
Well, again, it could be one bad week. They looked really good the first 4 weeks. You cannot discount the first 4 weeks because of one bad week. So
they played nobody. Minnesota.
Michigan State is a team.
They played nobody.
They suck. But they did go on the road to beat Michigan State. They beat a team that also has fired a coach in Colorado. Carl Durrell out. Should have been out a long time ago.
I don't know. I mean, this is probably the right time, actually.
Have you seen Colorado scores this season?
Yeah, but this was the right time. This is the right time.
Can I give you those scores real quick?
I guess.
I think it's important for people to know how bad Colorado's been. They might be the worst. They might truly be the worst team in Power 5. Here's the scores this year for Colorado. They lose to TCU 38-13. Okay, got that? Lose to Air Force 41-10. Lose to Minnesota 49-7. Lose to UCLA 45-17. Lose to Arizona 43-20. They have not had a game closer than 23 points this season. Five losses.
Back to Bielema. He's from Illinois. He was a pig. He grew up on a pig farm in Illinois. Bielema.
Yes.
Back to Bielema.
Okay.
We're not talking about Colorado. Nobody cares
had
about
to give some
Colorado.
scores. Okay, it was fascinating to me.
Back to Illinois and Brett Bielema. He's from Illinois. I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen Illinois facilities?
No.
Gorgeous. Google that when you get a spare moment today.
Thank you. I will eventually.
Google Illinois football facility. Brand new. Beautiful. Whitman, the AD, will pay him.
Josh Whitman.
Would Whitman let Bielema go to Nebraska? Would he allow that to happen?
Well, Nebraska can pay a lot of money.
So can Illinois.
How much is a lot for them?
I mean, they're getting the Big Ten money too, Jake.
Well, true.
They're getting the Big Ten money.
Give Bielema $8 million a year?
But I don't know. They might.
No way. Are they giving him $8 million a year?
Well, I don't know if it would take $8 million to get it for Illinois to keep him there. I mean, is it just going to be a straight bidding war at that point?
Could be.
I don't think so. I wouldn't look for Bielema. This is a Leipold discussion.
But you'd be curious about Bielema, though.
I would love it.
So would I.
I think he'd make a lot of sense considering his track record. Now people are going to play the Arkansas card.
I don't care.
He was only 5 games under at Arkansas.
And I don't care. He's a Big Ten coach. He's not an SEC coach.
Well,
he wasn't
that bad at Arkansas. 5 games under. Maybe 6. I mean, he wasn't far under 500.
He's a Big Ten coach. He knows how to win in the Big Ten.
Clearly.
And Nebraska, last time I checked, is in the Big Ten, not the SEC.
This is getting. Hey, do you understand what we're dealing with here? This is an incredible plot. I mean, incredible theater that we're dealing with at Nebraska, and now Wisconsin. The plot thickened. What happened yesterday when you sent me that hysterical? You were a little hysterical.
What did I send you?
Wisconsin fired Chris.
I did.
Yeah.
I thought I wasn't expecting it yesterday.
Nobody was. The plot thickened.
You're making fun of my
a little bit.
I didn't. It was just one text. It said Wisconsin fired Chris. That's it.
Exclamation point.
1.
Exclamation point.
Maybe 2.
3.
Okay, it wasn't 10. That's excessive.
The plot thickened, right? Right? The plot thickened big time. I mean, what we're dealing with is fascinating. Leipold's over there in Lawrence beating Iowa State. Proving me wrong, by the way. That Kansas defense proves me wrong. I thought Iowa State would score a minimum of 27.
I felt good about their chances.
You always do that in hindsight.
No, I said on the air, so don't discount the defense for this game. Go back. It's on the tape.
Kansas holds Iowa State to 11. Now Kansas plays TCU, right?
Yeah. at College Game Days in Lawrence.
Look what TCU did to Oklahoma.
They
put
them.
55 on them.
55. They had 668 yards of offense.
What is going on? That Oklahoma defense didn't look bad to me in Lincoln.
No.
It didn't look bad.
I don't know. Was there injuries at all? I don't even think there's injuries.
So
it just fell apart. All right, let's play the game show. Give us a call right now at 464-5685. Your chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. I know we just finished up this weekend, but I'm looking ahead to next weekend, this upcoming weekend. Who is playing who in college football? I will give you one team. You tell me who they're playing.
Okay.
The ranked teams.
Okay.
It's not just random
All
stuff.
right.
Ranked teams. This weekend's games, 464-5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Now, I can tell there's lots of people listening out there, so I know you can hear us. Don't be scared to call.
It's kind of a tough topic.
Well, I don't care. As we've always said, even if you lose, you get a bagel and a coffee. You don't lose anything. You win anything for calling in. There we go.
Thanks to Bagels and Joe.
Bagels and Joe. The coffee is great this morning, by the way.
Yeah,
Good Monday.
I don't even need sugar in it.
Really?
Proud
of you. All right. Gus is gone, so I'll go on the fly. Who do we have here? You're on early break. Can you hear me?
Yeah, this is John.
John, how do you feel about this upcoming weekend's games in college football?
You know what? I don't care about anybody else but our own team.
Okay, so that means not
I'm
good then.
still loving Saturday night win.
Good job, John.
And you should, John, because it was a nice win.
Yes.
And Nebraska tied for first in the Big Ten West. So, boom.
Stadium packed in Nebraska on Stadium Drive.
And I was gonna call you guys earlier about that. I'm telling you, for a team that has had the success or lack thereof of our team, for that stadium to be like
packed,
it was, is unbelievable.
It is.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Tip your cap Monday. Tip your cap Monday. Tip your cap to Nebraska fans. I'm not pandering. That is unbelievable.
All right, John, here we go. First question goes to you. In this upcoming weekend's games in college football, what SEC team does Georgia host? Number 2, Georgia. Who do they host on Saturday at 2:30?
They play Tennessee.
Is that your guess? Tennessee?
Tennessee.
Okay, Sim, do you want that one or not? Who is Georgia hosting this Saturday? You don't take it. You don't have to take it.
I think I know this. Carson's involved. Auburn.
How about that? Yeah. Georgia, by the way, 29.5-point favorite.
Oh, Georgia not particularly impressive against Missouri.
No, they looked average the last 2 weeks. Yeah. They have. All right, Sip, for the 2-0 lead, your first question. What team does number 7 ranked Oklahoma State host this weekend out of the Big 12 Conference?
Just beat Baylor. Good win for Gundy, by the way. Oh, Okie State.
I was home game for Oklahoma State.
Oh, God. Hey, Okie State. These are
5 seconds.
One of the Texas Tech.
Texas Tech is correct. You want to guess the spread of that one?
Yes. I've been doing well on
you
this.
Have.
Oklahoma State at home against Texas Tech must be a 10.5-point favorite.
Just 10.
Oh, wow.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, to stay live, John, your last question down 2-0. What ranked team does 11th ranked Utah head to this Saturday for a 2:30 kickoff out of the Pac-12? Pac-12 ranked team hosting 11th ranked Utah. Who's that?
Yeah, would that be Washington State?
No, it wouldn't be.
That
I needed this.
Is a victory for Sip after 0-5 last
That's the
week.
Bruins, by the way.
That is UCLA.
That's the Bruins.
You have looked ahead of this
Right,
week's schedule.
right, a little bit, yeah.
John, thanks for calling. We'll get your bagel and coffee, but calling down the road.
All right.
John, it's okay.
Hey, John was jacked about Nebraska's attendance on Saturday.
Yeah, we should sometimes acknowledge that in these dire times in the program where that stadium, it's not like a fake sellout either. You were there, right?
I was not at the game Saturday,
but I was
did
there.
see the stadium.
Yeah, I was there. It was full. It was beautiful. It was a great scene. Nebraska doesn't play again at home for a while, by the way.
Yeah, not until October 29th.
How about that?
26
That could be
days.
that could be a big game, brother. That could be a big game. Are people still saying get off the Kool-Aid? It could be a big
Big
game.
Ten West decider, maybe. Why do we do this to ourselves? Why?
Because it's fun.
It is fun. Yeah. Come on.
You got to win, man.
It's not fun to be, even keeled.
And they played hard. I mean, Nebraska's still playing hard. They shut out Indiana in the second half. Indiana had 8 3-and-outs.
Yes, they did. And they had 0 points. Less than 300
Nebraska's
yards of offense.
Nebraska, though, had given up too many hits on Casey. Casey getting pounded again.
Yep.
Casey got pounded.
I say again, Hunter Anthony, right tackle. Do it. Look better at right tackle. I'm saying.
Yeah,
I do not.
Listen,
You should have no issue saying that. If it looks better, nobody's feelings are going to hurt. He looked better at right tackle than Bryce Benhart. I'm sorry, he did.
I know. I'm not pushing back on
that. You want to guess some more spreads real quick?
Let's do this.
We'll say Big Ten. Then we'll get
while we're doing this, and I've done strangely well on this.
Ohio State, number 3 in the nation, heads to unranked Michigan State at 2-3.
Oh, big spread.
3:00 game at ABC.
Yeah, it's big. It's got to be big. Now, when I'm doing this, I'm thinking, what would be the number that would really challenge me if you put it out there? 22.
Pretty good. 25.5.
Okay.
2 more in the Big Ten. We'll get to break. Number 4, Michigan heads to Indiana for a 11 a.m. kick Saturday.
I mean, they're a big favorite. Michigan, the number that would challenge me, 17.
21.5.
Ooh.
And
seems like a lot.
Last but not least, Wisconsin, who just fired their head coach, heads to Northwestern for a 2:30 kick.
God, that's a hard spread to put out. I got to think 8-point favorite.
9.5 for the Badgers.
Not bad. Not
Badgers, bad. That could be a horrible football game, possibly.
Yeah.
It really could.
It always is. Even when those teams are good,
that
it's
might
not
be a 10-7 game.
You know what that game says to me? Don't watch it under any circumstances.
Nope. Stay away.
Unless you want to take a nap.
Stay far away unless you want nap time. The spillover is next on an early break in the ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise you.
Hey, Jake, your Honda's looking a little dirty.
Says the guy whose license plate is barely visible.
I mean, do you even care about that thing anymore?
It gets a little uncomfortable. Now, that's when I jump in.
Hey, whoa. Mark, did you get a new car?
Nope, just took my car down to Nebraska Auto Detail. Joe and the staff made the outside and the inside look amazing. Maybe you guys need to go.
Okay, wise guy.
Settle down, Jake.
Book your appointment today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com.
Registration is now open for winter sports leagues for adult basketball and youth basketball through Lincoln Parks and Rec. Adult kickball and volleyball registration are also open. Competitive and recreational leagues are available, so whether you're an athlete, a former athlete, or a wannabe athlete, there's a league for you. Plus, check out their paid opportunities for officials and referees. Contact Lincoln Parks and Rec to learn more or head to teamsideline.com/LincolnNE before October 16th to register your team. That's teamsideline.com/LincolnNE.
A good game with good friends. But isn't it time to up the score when it comes to the food? Wings and Rings is here for every football fan. Catch the game on one of their big screens or snag a tail great pack to go. They're cranking up the heat and throwing in mad flavor this season. Stop by your locally owned Wings and Rings on O Street Meridian Park or 48th and Old Cheney in Williamsburg Village, or grab some crave-worthy Wings and Rings to go. Make them your go-to destination to watch your team bring home the win. Wings and Rings. Game time just got better.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
This show's pretty rockin', huh?
Yeah, I'm so glad my State Farm agent helped me go.
Huh?
My State Farm agent. They help me with options to personalize my auto insurance to get a great rate that fits my budget, so I don't have to give up the things I love.
Wow. Hey, so do you think I could get your State Farm agent's number?
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for the spillover. AD, is Raph joining us today at all or not?
Oh, in on the drive show though via Zoom.
Okay, get Aaron on though.
Sorry, no, you're on now. Paul, I had the wrong mic.
So
now you're good.
So Rav will not be here.
No, Raph is zooming in. He's still on the road, but he's zooming in on the drive at 8:30.
Well, welcome, Aaron.
It's good to be here, man.
It's nice to see you.
Great to have you.
It's always good to see you in the studio.
Likewise, fellas.
Nebraska gets a win on Saturday, 35-21. We'll get to that in a second. Nice to have a win. But the big news yesterday, which, again, I point out was weird because it happened in the middle of a Packers football game in the state. Wisconsin fires Paul Chryst. Paul Chryst out at Wisconsin. Jim Leonard in as interim head coach the rest of the season with his chance to basically interview for that job.
Aaron. Chris McIntosh is the Wisconsin AD.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of his decision? What was your reaction? And now what is your reaction?
I was shocked. I was very shocked. Paul Chryst won 70% of his games.
Yeah, he was like, yeah,
something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, I should know the record off the top of my head. Get the record. I want to ask Aaron a question.
Hang on.
The
record was 67-26, and
67-26,
and 43-18 in conference.
Okay,
play.
so the important question for you is why? Why were you shocked? They're 9-8 in the Big Ten since the start of the 2020 season.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked too, but why were you shocked?
For those very reasons. I mean, you look at those numbers. You know, those numbers don't lie. Anytime that you're 49-13?
48-6 or
43-18.
43-18 in the Big Ten.
In the Big Ten. I mean,
43-18 Big Ten.
You're winning twice as many games as you're losing.
Over that.
But not recently.
Not
Aaron.
recently. And I think sometimes, though, it's college football in general. I mean, just sports in general, particularly in NFL and college. It's been a what have you done for me lately business. It's always been that way, but even more so now.
Is it more so now?
I think it's more so now because of the pressures that you get from social media. You have a bunch of other teams that you see that are – look, Illinois. You see Illinois that's putting in work. You're seeing Minnesota. Obviously, they lost. I lost that tough against Purdue. But I just don't understand why that took place. There must because there all could be some behind the scenes we don't know.
Okay, well, we can shed some light on this. And I didn't talk about this on our show today, but Jake can help me with this. The one thing, Aaron, that me and Jake saw last year that was striking when we went to Madison. Nebraska played Wisconsin. Wisconsin was going pretty good.
Yeah, they had a good season last year. Yeah.
And you would be startled by how quiet that whole scene is. The walk to the stadium on game day, the tents without people, the lack of people around.
I said this too. So I bought tickets the day before. We were driving up there to see what we get for tickets. I got a StubHub, and I got 50-yard line tickets, like 30 rows up for $20.
Okay, Aaron,
are you serious?
Dead serious.
Aaron,
dead serious.
The fan base,
3 of them.
I was struck by how the lack of enthusiasm.
Right.
Now, Wisconsin fan, if you're listening, go ahead, come at me. But I was there. I saw it.
I was there.
Yeah. Now, it was the start of deer hunting season, rifle deer season.
And that's a real thing up there.
It is, but come on. I mean, if you're, I was really struck by, they have tents and everything that, fan tents, and you walk by them and there'll only be a few people in them.
Was that, let's look at this angle too, though. Could that also be because the lack of appeal of Nebraska football at the time too?
That's possible. It wasn't
that's a good point.
Wasn't a very good team.
Aaron, wasn't a very good team.
That's fair.
So
very fair.
So that's that. I think about that, because what was our record we went into there at the time? It wasn't a winning one.
Nebraska, I think, was 3-7 going in, right? 3-7 going in.
So maybe they figured, it's deer season. We don't want to see a 3-7 Nebraska football team play.
Oh, but come on,
man. When you switch it to Nebraska fans, it shows you how you guys are talking about that, how special it is to have us now. Even though it's homecoming, it's still a team that hasn't been winning.
Think about what we're saying right now. Oh, by the way, if you happen to be a coach who's looking at both programs and saying, maybe I could coach at Wisconsin, maybe I could coach at Nebraska, I would say you better look at the game day. You better look at game day. You better look at Nebraska's game day compared to Wisconsin's, because there's no comparison.
Great points. Great points.
Am I saying that? There's no comparison.
I was shocked by that game last year, but it was a good football game.
Right.
And it was like half full.
Were they still playing jump around?
Yeah.
At Wisconsin?
They still play jump around. That's cool.
But they weren't jumping as much, though, huh?
Well,
they were jumping, but it wasn't that full.
Oh, it was a dead scene, Aaron. Aaron, it was a dead scene.
And then you look at, you think about audience again. You think of Kiffin, how pissed off he was with the folks there. I mean, they're winning.
Nebraska still has that separator, which is the fan base.
Michigan, even when they played against Maryland 2 weeks ago, you seen that student section.
Yeah, now hold on, though. I'm going to say this, Aaron. There's a late arrival. That place fills
up. Did it fill up late?
Yeah,
it was 11 a.m. game.
Okay.
I've always been, I've been in that stadium 2 or 3 times, and the students come late.
They come a little later. Yeah, I can get that.
Yeah, they fill in.
They fill in. I was the thing that I loved about our audience, and I didn't go Saturday. I did a pregame and then watched it. I was, like you mentioned, there was no. So the game was over. Well, first of all, the game went to the end of the game. It was a long fought game. That place was packed.
I know. Yeah, it was
on fire.
It was striking.
Pretty dang good crowd.
Yeah. Really strong.
What would you compare that to? I mean, you've been to a lot of games there, Sip. What would you compare just the energy in that stadium to?
I don't know, Aaron. I mean, it's always good.
Yeah.
Especially at night.
Yeah.
It's seldom do I think this is bad, except for 11 a.m. kickoff sometimes.
Yeah.
But no, Aaron, I don't know what I compare it to. It's the same. Like I mean, what I always do now is I go back to how incredible that stadium was last year when the program's still in a struggle for those night games against Northwestern and Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
What I always tell Jake is if you're okay, think about Michigan last year when they were here.
Right.
If you're just watching that game as a guy in I don't know if I always use Albuquerque for some reason, just a guy in Albuquerque who says, honey, I'm going to watch some college football. I'm going to watch Nebraska, Michigan. And you turn on that scene, that night game, Michigan, Nebraska, you'd never guess Nebraska's a struggling program.
You wouldn't.
The stadium's not only full, but it's jacked up.
Right.
And by the way, they're trading punches with Michigan.
Yep.
And I've always been struck by that. And again, Indiana's in town for a night game. Not a big game, and the place is packed. If you're looking on from another state that you don't follow Nebraska football, you're like, wait a second, I thought Nebraska was bad. Why is this stadium jam packed?
Oh yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
incredible.
You know, you think about that. We talked about it last week, on the air on the drive. Is the sellout streak important? I think Saturday showed how important it is.
Oh, it's important. Nobody will ever convince me it's not.
It's a big deal.
It's a separator, Aaron.
Yeah, it is. It's a great recruiting tool on all aspects. To see that place, like you said, to a team that's been losing, and we can go back last year. You mentioned the Michigan-Nebraska game. It's like, this team's terrible. You look at the record. Why would they have that many people? That shows you one of the distinct characteristics Nebraska football fan base has, and different than Wisconsin. Again, I've said there's no pro teams in any sport.
Yeah,
there's no distractions.
There's distractions in Wisconsin,
and it's like I said a few weeks back. We're the only Big Ten team without a pro team.
Mm-hmm.
There's other.
It helps.
It helps.
If you're Wisconsin, if you're live in Wisconsin, you can say, I'm not going to mess with Badgers today because Packers play tomorrow. I'll just deal with that.
Right. There is no tomorrow. I'm going to watch this in Nebraska for Nebraska affiliated sport.
It is this.
Yeah, the fans. That was. I hate it when I do this because people always say, "Oh, Sip, just carrying water for the athletic department." No, I'm not. I'm not. That's not what this is. It's amazing.
It was.
There's only one sports organization in the world that would still support its team like this, and we're doing it, and we're watching it.
It's pretty.
I'm
special.
not part of it, by the way.
It's pretty special. Sure, you are. For Nebraskans, we're all part of it.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
We're all part of it.
Minnesota, your level of shock by that result. Ooh.
I'm going to say yes and no. Purdue plays the same way that Minnesota plays. They're not gonna awe you with flashiness and all that. They're just gonna play hard nosed and knuckled, and they're kind of like Iowa. That same type. Obviously, both those teams have more offense, which they didn't show on Sunday. But both Iowa and Minnesota and Purdue are very similar teams.
Yeah.
And that head coach from Purdue, what's his name?
Jeff Brom.
He's
What's
always
his name,
been
Jake.
Jeff Brown.
Jeff Brown.
I like Jeff Brown. Big Jeff Brown.
They're just one of those teams that just play hard-nosed football. It's not going to be exactly. And they play very smart. They like to slug it out like that. Minnesota loves slugging it out like that. They just got outslugged.
They did. That's a good point.
So did I see? I still thought Minnesota would get it by a touchdown or so.
I did too.
So I wasn't surprised though that Purdue beat them. I wasn't, and I wouldn't have been surprised if Minnesota would have got them at Purdue. Vice versa. That was just a game to where it was really who made the least amount of mistakes. And it seems like from I watched a lot of that game. Purdue just played with some oomph.
They did.
I think they had something to prove.
They
Aiden O'Connell was back for that game. They just had a close win against Florida Atlantic the previous game, so people were doubting them, saying, "Okay, well, no one's believing in us this week. Let's go prove everybody wrong. Let's go win at Minnesota," and that's what they did.
Tip your cap Monday. It's been tip your cap Monday. People probably are really sick of it by now, but you tip your cap to Jeff Brom because Aaron, they went in there without their starting right tackle, without King Daru, their running back, and without one of their starting receivers.
Three key guys.
They go into Minnesota and win
and beat them.
20 to 10.
That was riding high too.
20-10.
Team that was riding high. It's it shows you. I know this is going to sound cliches, but seriously, any given Saturday, man.
Yeah.
Especially
Saturday.
in the Big Ten West right now. I mean,
Yes.
you got 6 teams at 1-1, and how do you know which team's good? I mean,
I don't know if any given
you
Saturday.
can make an argument for all those teams.
I don't know if
at 1-1,
any given
Northwestern.
Saturday right now applies to Ohio State.
Well, they're in a league of their own.
Have they even been tested yet this year?
Yeah,
Notre Dame.
That's right. Notre Dame tested them. Notre Dame tested them. But other than that, I mean, they've just pretty much beat the brakes off of everybody.
Yeah, any given Saturday, there's certain teams in the Big Ten that if you go to the horseshoe, it doesn't apply.
That's it. I mean,
it doesn't apply.
They beat Arkansas State by 33. They beat Toledo by 50-some. They beat Wisconsin by 31. And they beat, Rutgers by 39.
Does any given Saturday apply to Ohio State even going to Michigan State right now? You think the Sparty can?
Oh
no, it does. Sparty ain't gonna win that game.
I think that's another coach that I'm not going to say he's in trouble because he was like, "That's fine. $95 million is what you owe me."
Yep.
So $65 million, whatever it is by now. After
Shucks,
I
lost.
Yeah, yeah. So you figure?
Shoot.
I wasn't surprised. Like I said, he's fine. Mel Tucker's fine.
They're not going to fire him.
They're not going to. I mean, it's strictly financially is why they can't do it right now.
It's just if you're if you're a Sparty fan, Aaron, don't you just worry that how you look, the optics of this as you continue to lose, and what are we paying him?
And by the way, they play Ohio State this weekend.
Ooh,
they just lost to Maryland.
Just lost at Maryland. Just lost, but by 11 or it was by 11 they lost
11.
by.
And Michigan State's a 23.5 point dog in their home field to Ohio State.
I know.
We just talked about last week on their home field. They got beat 34-7 by Minnesota.
If you're a Sparty fan right now, you're going, now, how bad is this going to get? And what are we going to do here?
They really don't have they have unless they're going to pony up. They can't fire unless someone's going to pony up that type of money. I think if anything, it's a lesson to all athletic directors in big programs. Don't base it off 1 year's work. Because look what happened. The guy was 11-2 last year.
11-2.
11-2 this year. Now they've won what, 2 games? 2-4 right now?
2-3.
2-3.
They're staring.
But this is also though an example of you can't live. You're going to live and die by the transfer portal.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked last year. It's not working this year for
Right.
Michigan State.
It's not working this year.
You're right, Jake.
It's not working this
You're
year.
exactly right.
You cannot just build a program strictly on transfers. It can work. It can have a great year, but you just cannot sustain that success and hit every time.
You know, it's something to where you look at how Schneider used to build his programs back at K-State.
Yeah.
But he went to JUCO guys.
He did.
And first of all, he was in the haven of JUCO schools.
Jayhawk Conference.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many places he can get them.
Mm-hmm.
He built it, off of transfers, but they were there for 2 years. But like I can say,
3 years.
3 years. People couldn't just
2
leave
years,
all of a
3
sudden.
years. Yeah. 2 years,
Absolutely.
3 years.
This day and age to where if you're going to build it strictly off of that, like you mentioned, you're in trouble. You can't establish a culture. You can't establish habits when guys are in and out of the roof every year like that.
No,
you just can't do it.
No, but on the other hand, look
You
at
can fill a
Nebraska.
hole.
Look at Nebraska's offense. The guys that are leading the charge are all transfers.
All transfers. All of them.
But yeah, it's working out. I mean, they're 2-3 to be fair.
Right. Now, I'm not saying it's working out.
But I'm saying for Michigan State, they last year was all transfers, and it worked out for them. Kenneth Walker, great transfer. Peyton Thorne, good transfer last year.
Mm-hmm.
This year, you lose Walker. I mean, you try to replace those guys with the portal guys, and it hasn't worked out.
I think the ideal thing is you build a strong program, but every program in America, including Alabama, they'll have positions where they don't feel that great about. And they'll go get the guy to fill it.
A few.
Right.
Right.
A few. You see what I'm saying?
You look at those top teams too, fellas. Your top 10, 15 teams. All those teams are deep. And it ain't with transfers.
They're not deep everywhere, though.
They can fill them, to your point. They can fill them real fast.
Yeah, they fill
those teams have those kids, and they establish them for those number of years. They as far as their system, the way they do things, their culture. And so, therefore, that's why they plug and play every year. They're just plugging and playing because they just refill and they reshoot every year. They just reload, and there's the same thing.
Yeah.
They're not always going to win the championship every year, but they're going to be relevant in the conversation.
They'll be tough.
They'll be in the conversation.
They'll be tough.
That's the difference, man. It's a difference.
It is.
There's not that many programs out there like that right now, though. There's not. There's a few.
And then Colorado's coach. I think we all kind of knew that was coming.
God, they've been terrible.
Carl Durrell
They
out.
have not had a game closer than 23-point deficit this year. That's their closest.
23.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's their
Holy
closest
smokes.
loss this year.
Now, Jake,
wow.
you really brushed me aside on the Mickey Colorado conversation, but you know who lives in Colorado? Or used to be there, Vance Joseph.
Well, he's at Arizona now.
I know, but what if Vance Joseph said, hire my brother?
Well, what if Mickey keeps this job?
Well, I'm just saying, if in the scenario that he doesn't get this job, would Mickey be a candidate at Colorado?
Depends
I would think so.
Depends how it goes for him this year.
Well, you don't want Mickey at Colorado, though.
That's your first game next year, by the way. Would be at.
That would be awkward.
Yeah, it'd be
That'd
very
be
awkward.
Somebody on your text line mentioned it was a sloppy win. I think that was Cheeseburger. It was not maybe true. It is true. But you know what? I'm tired of sloppy losses.
Boom.
I'm tired of sloppy losses.
Sloppy in terms of, I think Nebraska was penalized 12 times.
12
but,
times.
But you can't. Now, here's the thing, though. What I would say to Cheeseburger is, I mean, Indiana 2 of 15 on third down.
Boom.
Nebraska forces 8 3-and-outs. 8 3-and-outs.
It's almost like, to me, at sometimes fans, and I'm not saying it's true about Cheeseburger, if you don't win by 40 and no mistakes, is not considered a win. It's like, as bad as this team has struggled, this team's mentality last year, they would have lost that game Saturday. They would have lost that game. I have no doubt in my mind they would have lost that game last year as close to that, because they would just self-destruct.
Didn't know how to win.
Exactly. So they're learning. So anytime you're learning to do something, if you're learning to ride a bike again, or not again, when you're learning to ride a bike, you're going to fall down.
Yeah, you got to fall down a lot.
When you learn to do anything, you're going to make mistakes. So sloppy win, I'll take it.
Yeah.
These kids are learning how to win.
And you know what wasn't sloppy either? Special teams weren't sloppy.
Oh, heck
Block,
no.
punt for touchdown, 22-yard
First time
punt
since
return.
2009
that
we did that.
Yeah.
First
special
kickoff
teams.
since special team touchdown we've had, since I think, it was in 2019, young man that transferred.
Spielman?
Yeah, it was
Spielman.
Yeah.
Against South Alabama.
Yep.
Against South Alabama.
There was a lot of firsts in the right column.
Yeah.
On Saturday
talking about
night.
historically bad stuff again.
But you notice something though? We're not talking about special teams very much.
No, we're
Because
not.
they're okay.
Right.
They're not great, but they're okay.
And Buschini punted the ball.
Pretty
well.
good.
It was
Pretty
decent the other night.
Yeah, he popped one down in the coffin corner at one point that was gigantic.
Yeah.
It was massive.
Yeah.
All right. The drive with AD and Raf is next for Steve Sipple. I am Jake Sorensen. See you.
Get an immediate look back at the game from the people who know it best. It's the Tanner's post-game show and the final word live from Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30.